It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
Rock and roll time. Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, CB. What a show we have for you today. Boys, how we feeling?
Oh, my goodness. I feel phenomenal, like I'm AJ Styles. I mean, today is a very exciting day. I mean, there's so much going on. I mean, we got a major championship popping off right now. Got the announcement not too long ago that EA Sports is officially dropping AR, the college football game, on July 19th. So that's going to be a national holiday. I don't know what Donovan Edwards is doing on the cover, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. He's joining Quinn Ewers and Travis Hunter, but life is good, man. The sun is shining. NFL schedules are out. And we got some really cool guests rolling through the show today. How you feeling?
Absolutely. You said that you wanted to rebook Shefty to go over the entire schedule launch and see if he can warm up to the whole thing a little bit.
I'm here to let you know that yesterday, Shefty wasn't here for any of the schedule stuff, but it wasn't just us. I mean, he was getting after it with Dan Orlovsky and the guys on NFL Live. So Shefty was on one. We all have those days. We're actually going to hear some of that sound later on. So, yeah, man, all good over here in the hood.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, you mentioned the Donovan Edwards thing. It doesn't really bother me. I feel like, okay, they won the national title. He had a lot to do with it. I guess you get some reward bucks for that, don't you?
He was just kind of mid last year. Like 2 years ago, he was awesome. But last year, just kind of, if you're going to put a Michigan player on the cover this year, put Will Johnson on that thing. That dude's an absolute beast on defense. I don't know what the heck. And Donovan Edwards is dead center of the cover, too. Like, I don't know. I get they're the champs, but
that's it.
Pick another Wolverine.
I think that's it.
He didn't do much last year. He wasn't very good last year. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look. Maybe I don't know. There's a lot of, he's, an upperclassman kind of deal. I really don't know. Maybe you brought up something. I'm looking at his stats from 2023. And now, I mean, he had the 100-yard game and the 2 touchdowns in the championship.
Yeah, but what did the year look like in total?
No, the year wasn't great, but it looked like he starred in the champ. He did what he usually does. He shows up every now and then, hits some home runs, and away you go.
Okay, that's a miss by me. But either way, and we're not going to get too caught up in that, that's going to be a huge day.
I want to get caught up.
CB might take the day off for that. Actually, CB's going to be in vacation. He's going to be out there.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be off the grid when it drops, so it's going to be pretty rough.
A little bittersweet for you. I need your nephew to get me right. I'm still waiting for the PS5. I know he does a lot of deals in dark alleys around the country, but for some reason he hasn't made his way to Columbus to hand me the PS5. What's going on?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if he's bonded out yet. We'll have to see. Anyway, we got a nice show for you today. So we will have our boy Frank Caliendo in studio, the master of impression, the impression machine, at 1 o'clock. So if he can find his way to the bunker, that's the only problem. When I'm trying to give him directions, like that might be the one thing that holds all this up. We'll see.
Got our best people on it, don't we?
Side entrance. It's kind of like a speakeasy. A slat in the door will open up. I'll give you the password, and then you've got to say that, and then we bring you in. You'll have a little Mardi Gras mask that you have to wear while you're in here and all that. So
it reminds me of one of the scenes in Beer Fest. That's what you had to do. You had to have the passcode in Beer Fest to get on in.
It reminded me of a scene in a movie called Eyes Wide Shut. I don't know if you've seen that, Matty.
Heard of it, have not seen it. When did that come out? In the 80s, 90s?
I think that's I want to say late 90s, but I don't know.
Okay. We got a thriller, comedy.
I've got 99.
There you go.
1999, baby.
Luft balloons.
What an odd year 1999 was. You remember all the
the Y2K bananas?
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Buying all the gallons of water.
The world is gonna end.
It's crazy.
2000 is a problem. We got what they call it, the Millennium Bug or whatever was gonna happen. Yeah, the Y2 bug, Y2K bug.
We had some of those vibes going on right when the pandemic dropped. Everybody buying the toilet paper and all that, and that was just. Well,
you were bunkered in, Matty.
What a time! That was tough for us. Tough.
Yeah. And tough for the people that were sick, too.
Well, I know.
But yeah, even tougher for us, right? We had to do the radio show from home and in our boxer,
that was brutal. Let me tell you.
I was up a little turtle doing the radio show and cooking my meals back there. I was like the caretaker at the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. It was outstanding, going crazy, throwing tennis balls against the wall.
Yeah, there were a lot of shows done in hoodie and draws that year, man. A lot of shows.
See, you probably were on a short rotation back then.
I got a whole slot full in my cabinet of just fresh draws.
I just think we don't have to see anybody, be around anybody.
No.
That's when I shine.
It's a mental thing for me. Like I need that reset every day of a couple showers, fresh draws. I need it all.
Showers.
Oh yeah, shower in the morning.
Okay,
and then shower when I get home because sometimes I'll get the workout done in the morning.
Okay,
and then I shower. But even if I don't work out in the morning, I'm showering to start my day.
Okay,
but if I don't work out in the afternoon, I still like to go home and reset and not sit on my couch with all the outside smell. That's what my mom and grandma used to say. Like when you come home, you smell like outside. Go get in the shower. So yeah, 2 showers a day, man. You got to stay so fresh and so clean, like Outcast.
You and I are on. That's great because we're on opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to that. Now, it's not like I don't shower. Yeah. I do, but there's rare occasion where I would do the 2-a-day showers. I can't remember the last. Well, no, I can't remember.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When you are outside, say you were at, let's say, Valhalla today, just walking around and following Tiger all day, the same clothes that you wore out to the golf course, would you get in bed with those clothes or sit on your couch with those same clothes that when you were outside all day? Because for me, that's an absolute no.
The sweaty, the grimy part, the sunscreen, perhaps, all that.
Like if you go outside at all for a certain period of time, those same clothes, would you dare get in bed or sit on your couch with those clothes on?
I'm afraid to admit it. I've definitely done it and probably will do it again.
That's
you do it, Matty. Yeah. Everybody does it.
I can't do that.
I just did it, and I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah, I can't do that. Can't do that.
We got Frankie in town, 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So 1 to 1:30, we'll bring him in. We'll put him through our paces. Frank, jump around, make some sounds, do the voices, Frank, entertain us. So we'll have that at 1 o'clock. We will also bring. It's a Gold Jacket Thursday here on the Fan. So as you guys know, the residency program is going on up in Canton, where they'll bring a Hall of Famer in every week to kind of like drift around the city, go buy people a meal. Our guest today will be the ultimate Pittsburgh Steeler, Lynn Swann, the great number 88, king of the circus catch. So he will come on at 2:33. I think he went out to a restaurant last night, just showed up in Canton at some place and just hung out.
Love it. I love when athletes or like Zach Taylor does that a lot for the Bengals. Like after a game, they get a nice win. I think he'll go around with the game ball or whatever it is, and he'll pop into the bar and kick it with the people, man. It's always a good vibe. Sometimes when you're up, on the throne, up living high above everybody, you got to come down to the streets. You know what I'm saying? And let the people know that you're real. So I like that for Lynn Swann. Lynn, I mean, man, obviously an all-timer, especially in our neck of the woods in AFC North Country, but he's got so much going on or had so much going on throughout his career, his life, post-football and everything. He was a media guy. So, that should be fun to pick his brain on. A lot of the stuff going on with the Steelers and just everything else that kind of popped off in his life. I'm looking forward to that.
When you think about, I know this is old school, but in the 1974 draft of the Pittsburgh Steelers, they drafted 4 future Hall of Famers and signed an undrafted future Hall of Famer who we had on. So we've had 2 of that class. We'll have 2 of that class on now with Donnie Shell, who was undrafted, became a Hall of Famer, and now Lynn Swann, who was the first in that class of the Steelers in 74. So it was Swann, Jack Lambert, John Stallworth, and Mike Webster were all drafted and all became Hall of Famers, and we know what the steel curtain turned into.
Steelers, they've had, certain franchises just have a knack of nailing certain positions in a long history of them. Like the Steelers have a couple things going on. Head coaches, they usually crush those. They haven't had many of those.
No, they haven't.
And then like their run of wide receiver play. And I know they've done some good things at other positions, linebacker and all, but wide receiver is really what stuck out to me when I think about the Pittsburgh Steelers and just the eras of Lynn Swann in the 70s all the way up to where we are now with the guy that has a whole bunch of potential and George Pickens and just all the guys in between. Like the black and gold, they just get it right when it comes to wide receiver play. It's really impressive, but also it's terrifying to deal with if you're, an opposing AFC North.
The Chuck Noll to Bill Cowher to Mike Tomlin is
awesome,
quite amazing when you think about that run that they've had as far as division championships and overall championships and all of that. Now I'll steal a little something from ESPN this morning because I heard them talking about like McVay was talking about how he's got this old office still, like with no windows, kind of like we talk about how we complain about the studio with all that. And he was complaining about an ESPN, and it was really funny. And they were talking about on the morning show today about how what coaches actually deserve a real corner office and like the big office. And somebody threw out Mike Tomlin. And I thought, well, if anything, I don't think I'd put Tomlin in the corner office right now. I don't know if I would.
Meaning, what do you mean by this? Like the elites? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, they don't do what the tradition says they do, which is win playoff games. I'm trying to think of.
Oh, to me, he's still amongst the elites. He hasn't had a quarterback. He hasn't had a quarterback. And look at the floor that he's still provided as a head coach. He's still that guy for me. And speaking of offices, I wonder if he's going to give Mr. Unlimited his own office. Because remember, that was a big beef in Denver, is that Russ had his own office.
Mr. Unlimited.
He's got to have room to do those high knees, Matty, down the hallway.
Runner pass. I still believe in Mike Tomlin. Yeah. I just think they've had this, 4 to 5 year window of just average to bad quarterback play. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have that in this league, especially in this division right now where you've got Joey B and Lamar and the potential of Deshaun and their really good team around him, you're just going to be behind. But guess what? They still found a way to get into the postseason last year. Think about that. That is really, really impressive to me with the guys that he had in Pickett and Mason Rudolph and Trubisky and all that. So to me, he's still in that elite club.
Okay. All right.
For you, though, no?
Nah, he's a really good coach. I understand that. I just feel like he's living off this, I don't know, it feels like forever ago, the championship, and all they've done is get there and not win.
Well, I can't knock a guy for,
You brought up a good point about the quarterback stuff. Of course.
You're going to, I don't care who you are, when you don't have that guy that's competent, then you're not going far.
I bet Steeler fan has a real conundrum with this whole thing. Right? They're just kind of like, he's probably the guy still, and we know, and who are we going to get that's better? But, I feel like there is a button there somewhere.
Things will look a lot better when they got Dak Prescott spinning the rock for him next year.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm heavy on that.
But so you don't think there'll be a long-term deal coming for the Dak Meister?
Based off the play that we've seen from Russ and Justin, that's up in the air in Pittsburgh for their long-term play, and it just feels like they are that Jerry and Steven are like, hey, thanks, but no thanks. We're going to let you hit free agency, big dog. And if I'm the Steelers, first in line, because there's going to be some competitors. The Raiders, I'm sure, will be in the mix. But, it just, to me, my gut, every time I think about their 2025 plans, comes back to Dak Prescott.
Unless they get something out of Justin Fields to the point where they feel like there is a future.
Fall in love with him. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, we will analyze the schedules. They are out, the Browns and Bengals, and I feel like the Brownies are in a pretty good spot here out of the gate. We'll analyze the Bengals as well. We'll play that game with you next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in the Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Listen up, gamers. Mountain Dew has always been your go-to for a refreshing citrus kick. Now it's also your go-to for gaming rewards. With Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards, you just look for codes under the caps of specially marked 20-ounce bottles of Mountain Dew. Enter those codes online to bank points, and then redeem them for awesome gaming gear. Everything from gift cards, game copies, controllers, consoles, custom Mountain Dew gaming gear, and more. Join Mountain Dew Gaming Rewards now.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at MountainDewGaming.com and 2525. Voter prohibited.
New membership pricing just dropped at Take 5 Car Wash, and you're not going to believe it. Join Take 5 Unlimited for the price of just one wash per month and wash again and again and again and again. Endless washes for the price of just one wash. Join Take 5 Unlimited today.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
Wilson, what's with the magic wand?
I'm trying to make our screens do that vanishing thingy yours do.
You mean the disappearing roll screens? Where the screen is there if you want it, or retracts and disappears if you don't.
Yeah, now, is that done with real magic?
No, it's not.
So I should probably take back the wizard's robe.
Yeah, I would. Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
Hey, it's Bobby Carver, and it's springtime. And you know what that means? It means berry season, the fresh, delicious berries, and there's no better place to get them than, you guessed it, Bob Evans and their delicious farmhouse kitchen. They have a number of berry salads there that you're going to love. The summer berry salad, which I love, the red, white, and blueberry farmer's choice. And you know what's fantastic? They start at $6.99 with that red, white, and blueberry hotcakes. Who doesn't love that? With the delicious toppings. They've got them for dine-in, carry-out, delivery. Check them out at bobevans.com.
Are you hangry for Buckeye baseball? Matt Andrews brings you every Big Ten game on our family of fan networks. 1460 AM, the Fan's HD2, and the Fan app. Your home for Ohio State athletics, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always at the forefront of new technology, Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services, even for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
No, see,
afflicted. No, affected was right.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters ASE technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye.
No,
adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Low Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Low Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Low Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glow Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Enjoy the nice weather out there today because changes are coming tonight. Look for a sunny afternoon with highs around 78. Tonight, the clouds increase with a low around 65. Look for rain throughout most of the day tomorrow. Upwards of a half-inch of rain is expected with highs in the middle 70s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Rebshad on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Helping you ace your afternoon. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, so I dipped into the schedule thing last night for a brief moment. I saw Rich Eisen interviewing Mike Tirico. We were talking about all the Kansas City games. And then I was on hoops. Then I was on Cavs. I just, it's not that I wasn't interested in. And, you know, we both were very curious about how the schedules unfold. Every fan has to be. You have to know what kind of gauntlet your team has, what's happening before the bye, when is the bye, do you have any primetime games, all that. It's very much for the fans. And in looking over the Brownies' schedule.
Wait, real quick. So you're saying when the schedule show started, did you kind of
I got an
leaning
alert
towards Shefty and turned heel on the schedule release?
No, I got an alert on the phone, and then I honestly went over to ESPN, but wasn't hockey on at the time or something?
Well, they were on ESPN too. Yeah, they were on ESPN.
And then I went to the NFL Network, and in the guide, the NFL Network did not say NFL schedule release show. It had some old classic game on the guide. Like, they weren't even prepared.
What do you mean?
It just said something on the guide, like
Oh, my
Packers, Patriots. Like, I don't know. It didn't have it.
Oh, no. They had it blocked off from like 8 to 11 on my TV Guide schedule release show. It's a big production. That's all it is. You mentioned Tirico. They had a whole bunch of guests on there.
Yeah.
The NFL knows that if we do anything outside of the Pro Bowl, if we do anything, people are going to tune in and be excited about it. So I get it. These are just part of checking the boxes for us fans to get us to the fall, right? Combine, draft, schedule release, free agency, mandatory minicamp. You get these things that like to fuse just a little bit for the hardcore football fan that may not love golf, baseball, NBA playoffs, NHL, hockey, and all that stuff. So, yeah, man, they're just making more money and more money and more money.
Browns have 5 of their first 7 are on the road. So, obviously, you don't love that part of it. I do like the fact that they have a bye week in week 10. I think it's a perfect spot for them. Depending on really what happens, as far as like on paper, I think it's a perfect spot because it's almost, a little over halfway for the season. So I love that for them. And they do have some very tough games at the end. Like this is one of those schedules where they have to take advantage of the early part of it. Seems very similar to what they had, I believe. Well, last year they had the big opponents early on. You had Cincinnati and Pittsburgh out of the gate. When they drilled the Bengals, you thought, okay, that's good. Then they caught their lunch a little bit against the Steelers, but they wound up getting to their bye, at 500. But they had a bye in week 5 last year. Now they came out of the bye. It worked well for them because they won 5 of their next 6 games. But I look at this schedule, home against Dallas, at Jacksonville, home against the Giants, and their roadies at the Raiders, at Washington, at Philly is not easy, obviously.
That's
but
tough. But
I kind of like it. You get rewarded. And then before the bye week, you have 3 straight home games.
Yeah, those are 3 bangers. So you have those 3 road games, which can be tough, but your travel isn't all over the place, right? You're going to go to Vegas, which is always a good time, as we all know. Then you go to Washington, but then you just slide down to Philly. So it's not like they're going from Vegas, back home for practice and then back out to San Francisco or playing the Chargers out there. So 3 road games is tough, but you do get rewarded right after that with Bengals, Ravens, Chargers, all at the Muni lot, which leads you right into your bye week. And we know how crowded the AFC is going to be. So all of these games are so important right there going into the bye, just based off of seeding, and especially those 2, obviously, against the Bengals and the Ravens inside the North.
They should be above 500 at their bye week. They really should.
The Giants and the Raiders aren't too spooky right now, especially with who knows who the heck's playing quarterback for the Giants. And then you got the Raiders with Gardner Minshew, who was fine last year, but at the end of the day, he's Gardner Minshew, and that's why he's been a majority backup for the majority of his career. But those 2 games seem gettable. Then you're dealing with a rookie on the road who I think is going to have some potential with that offense around him. But there are some games before that Eagles, Bengals, Ravens, Chargers run that if you're a Browns fan, you feel pretty good about on paper right now.
I have them 5-4 at worst, 6-3.
Okay.
Going into their bye week.
Okay.
I feel like, with this schedule, health, I know road in the NFL, there's no gimmies. I know the parity is there. Just feel like that's the case. Now, in my sleep, I hear this. All right, so I've been meaning to email you the director's cut that I have on my phone.
Just for his personal enjoyment?
Well, that or to air it. Why not? We air enough stuff on here. Right? That should be, where that's going to lie in the things that we've actually aired.
How many bleeps are we going to have to use in that one?
Just at the end.
The director's cut?
There's just a one-liner at the end that he dropped that you won't like because they beat the Ravens that day, and you lost Lamar that day.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I have them coming out, 5-4 at worst, 6-3. I feel at best probably. I'm not going to put them at 7-2 or anything crazy like that. But I like the way their schedule unfolds. And now I mentioned the end, and the end is the real deal. Here's the good news for the Browns: you come out of the bye week, you'll go to New Orleans, and then you come home for Pittsburgh, and you go to Denver. So if you can pick off 2 of those 3. Then all of a sudden you're in really great position. But let me tell you who they play in their last 5 games. At Pittsburgh, home against Kansas City, at Cincinnati, home against Miami, which you kind of love in late December, and then at Baltimore.
Yeah, you mentioned that first Pittsburgh game too. They get Pittsburgh 2 out of 3 weeks there from November 21st to December 8th. So those are going to be 2 very physical games. But yeah, you brought up a nugget there, especially with Miami. and their track team, you bring them up to the cold, you bring them north of the wall to deal with what should be one of the best defenses again in the league. And we just saw in the postseason that did not go well for the Dolphins out in Arrowhead in that playoff game, when I know it was absolutely freezing in that game. But the Dolphins have a lot of proving to do, right? Not only with the cold weather stuff to a certain degree, but also just beating good teams. They just did not do that last year. They beat up on everybody else. And when they came to playing teams like the Ravens and the Chiefs and some of the other teams that were just 500 or better, Tua and company couldn't get it done. So, yeah, that back half right there, that's a beast for sure. But you have, I think, the first portion of that schedule to give yourself some wiggle room when you see Giants, Raiders, and Commanders early on.
They a 10-win football team?
Man, that's going to be tough, man. It's just the AFC's an absolute beast. What are you thinking?
I think it's right there. I think it comes down to those last two games. I do.
But it's also like, what's up with Deshaun? Like, you know, like the defense, again, could be elite. And if they don't get good quarterback play from him, like that's just a massive question mark.
That Kansas City game in Week 15 in Cleveland, Mahomes against Deshaun, that's going to be outstanding. Now, let me go through this real quickly with you. It looks like, so they do not have a primetime game until Week 12. They're a Thursday nighter, home against Pittsburgh, prime. And then they will play another Thursday nighter at Cincinnati, same deal. Mm-hmm. And then they do have the Sunday nighter, what will we call that? Like New Year's Eve weekend, December 29th, against Miami. So all the others, you know, they start at 4:25, a lot of 1 o'clockers in there. I'm sorry, they do have the Monday nighter at Denver. My bad. They do have one Monday night game. Actually, it's funny. They go, and the beauty of that is they'll have a Thursday nighter against Pittsburgh at home, and then they'll have the 10 days before going to Denver, or 11 days before they got to play that Monday nighter on the road.
To get after Bo Nix.
It really kind of unfolds. You're right about the teams that there's no question at the end. That is, I mean, at Pittsburgh, KC, Bengals, Miami, Baltimore is legit. Mm-hmm. It's just, I like the way that you could spread that out a little bit for me, but other than that, I know we'll go with the Bengals later, but overall, I really like their schedule, the way it unfolds.
CB, you're the Brownie fan. How you feeling about this? Where are some pockets of the schedule that got you worried? What do you really like about this?
I think it's pretty obvious for a lot of the AFC North that it's very backloaded in the sense, I know we'll get to the Steelers at some point, but theirs is insane, the back run of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's going to be after the bye. I mean, you've got the Steelers in a stretch of, both times in a stretch of 3 weeks. Like, it's crazy, but I do think they have to take advantage, and it's been like that the past couple of years, take advantage of the early part of the schedule.
Yeah, that's it. And, you know, if they can navigate those first 9, like I said, 5-4 at worst, 6-3, somewhere in that area, then they are going to feel pretty good about their chances to get back in the playoffs and make some noise. All right, we will take a break. We'll come back with our friend Ryan Roberts as we dip into the college ranks. Obviously, he does the Irish Breakdown. We've had him on many times before. And now that we've got the 12 expanded teams in the playoff, does that help or hurt Notre Dame? We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
The only radio station still operating with an active booze cart. I'm drunk right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Ever fight the good fight? That's pretty much my go-to move. I always want to come through for the people that count on us, to stand up for what's right, and I'll never stop fighting that fight. But when it comes to word games, I pick my battles. Take tune-ups. In Columbus, tune-up now seems to mean cursory inspection instead of deep cleaning and maintenance. And as much as I'd love to set the record straight, that ship has sailed. So for now on, my Eco AC technicians won't call them tune-ups. They'll Ecofy, Servicefy, and Restorify your AC.
Restorify? Son, I don't think your cornbread's done in the middle.
Look, if people want to call a drive-by inspection and sales pitch a tune-up, I don't want to fight them on the label. Whether you want to call it an eco-ification or not. The important part is we'll get your system fully cleaned, greened, and recalibrated to factory spec condition. Want a con job mislabeled as a tune-up? Call someone else. Want to Ecofy your AC back to perfect working order for only $89? Call
GetEco.com.
Every shot, every goal, ESPN Bet has fans covered for the biggest moments on the road to the championship. The exclusive sportsbook of ESPN is the only place to find special offers and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities throughout the playoffs. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download ESPN ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Gray and brown are dull. Pink, red, white, yellow, and orange are bright and exciting. During the Parade of Color at Oakland Nursery, you can turn all of winter's grays and browns into bold spring color and save. Premium quality annuals start at just $2.99 a pack. Flowering hanging baskets bursting with color start at just $16.99. Paint your landscape with Mother Nature's extraordinary palette of vivid brightness. It's the Parade of Color at Oakland Nursery. Since 1940, summer color and beautiful landscapes start at Oakland Nursery.
When an orthopedic injury or condition gets in the way of life, there is nothing more important than finding a physician you can trust. At Orthopedic One, you'll find Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts, ready to listen to your concerns and work with you toward the best possible outcome. In fact, more people trust Orthopedic One than any other practice in Central Ohio. Start with the specialists. Start with orthopedic1.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You walk into your bathroom every morning and every night, so why not have it be something great? Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. You've been thinking about it, so do it. Let my friends at the Bath Authority transform yours into whatever you envision. With the Bath Authority, every unit can be custom built by you with the premium accents and accessories that you want. And it can all be installed in as little as 1 day by certified factory technicians. And right now, the Bath Authority is giving you $1,500 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Thoughtfully discussing the merits of Home Run Inn's frozen pizza. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back in Rothman and Ice. We've talked a lot about the expanded playoff and what team could get in there and actually make some noise. Maybe Notre Dame is one of them. Our guy Ryan Roberts, Rise and Draft, is with us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Ryan, good to have you back.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys for having me.
You got it. So they'll be there preseason-wise. I assume they'll be, I don't know if they'll be top 5. They'll be top 10 for sure, I imagine. We can ask you what you think. And, you know, adding the Duke quarterback, Riley Leonard. Now, it has a little bit of that, well, we tried this with Hartman, and we hit the wall. And then now you get Riley Leonard, and you bring back an offensive coordinator who was obviously in charge of puppet mastering LSU's great offense. So give me your take on Notre Dame and those two adds.
I mean, I think the offseason was paramount for Notre Dame moving forward because I think what we had seen being built the last couple of years under Marcus Freeman is defensively, they're going to be that caliber of a team. I mean, they were a very good defense this past year, top 5 in most statistical categories, especially when you're talking about the pass defense. I mean, so it's been a really good unit under Al Golden the last couple of years, especially last year. And you know that that's always going to be a particular and a consistency for Notre Dame for the most part. Offensive line play is always going to be very good. Tight end play is going to be really good. But I think this offseason was really dedicated to finding answers at the spots that have held Notre Dame back the last few years. And you mentioned one, quarterback. You needed to become more dynamic at that position. I believe if Riley Leonard is able to stay healthy this year, he gives them the best dual threat element they've had in a long time at the position. They also went to wide receiver portal this year, and they added a guy like Chris Mitchell out of Florida International, who quietly had over 1,100 yards last year, obviously on a little bit of a lower level, but he had 150 against Arkansas last year and obviously in a matchup against the SEC team. He brings big-time speed. They also got Bo Collins from Clemson to add a little bit more dynamic as far as a big-body pass catcher outside. And you mentioned it. I mean, they went and got Mike Denbrock, who just orchestrated a team that averaged 46 points per game, had the Heisman Trophy winner, had 2 first-round wide receivers. So he has a track record of that, too. Even dating back to what he did at Cincinnati with Desmond Ridder and Tyler Scott and Alec Pierce and some other good NFL talents. They were able to get a lot out of those dudes, obviously. So I think the initiative for Notre Dame this offseason was offensively, you need to become more explosive, man. This is an era of Notre Dame football now where, yes, you're going to be good in a couple of areas that you would always expect a Notre Dame team to be good, but they have not been able to create the explosive plays and the big opportunities. We've seen them in like the 2020 playoff, 2018 playoff, where defensively they were good enough to compete against some of these top teams in college football. Offensively, they laid a bunch of goose eggs, right? So I think the offseason has been dedicated to, both from an offensive play calling perspective and from a skill position perspective, we need to get better, we need to get more consistent, and we need to create a lot more explosive plays.
Ryan, I just want to make sure my eyes are seeing something correctly when it comes to Notre Dame's schedule this year. Is it right that we're looking at only 3 road games and 8 straight home games for them this year?
I believe that is correct. Yeah, I was actually looking at that a little bit earlier. So they have, obviously, you're starting out the year at Kyle Field, but then you have the Northern Illinois at home, then you have West Lafayette, Indiana. So you're still in the state, obviously going against Purdue, but then you have Miami, Ohio at home, you have Louisville at home, you have Stanford at home, you do go out to Georgia Tech, so that's kind of breaks it up a little bit there. But you have a lot of key games this year, I think, at home, which is the good thing, right? Like last year, the most maddening game all year was probably Louisville, because Louisville was a good team last year, but Notre Dame went down to Louisville, Kentucky, and they laid an absolute goose egg on national television, and it was just a really bad outing. Fortunately, they get Louisville, who is a ascending program under Jeff Brown, but they get them at home this year. You get Florida State at home. You have to end the year on the road at USC out there in Southern California, but the schedule really does set up, I think, for Notre Dame to make a nice run. It's not the most star-studded in the world. You have Texas A&M, you have Florida State, you have USC, like I mentioned. But outside of that, it's a very non-daunting schedule, and I think Notre Dame has a chance to make a lot of noise with the schedule that's in front of them right now.
Ryan Roberts, IrishBreakdown.com as well. What has to happen this year for either the noise to quiet around Marcus Freeman or kind of re-energize the fan base? What needs to happen?
I think it's twofold. I mean, one, you need to make the college football playoff. You're Notre Dame, and it's now shift to a 12-teamer, so you need to make the playoff every single year. I mean, that should be the expectation. Is there going to be a weird year where there's a bunch of injuries that you don't expect and, some things go off the rails? I mean, it's always possible, but the initiative and the expectation should be every single year we make the playoffs, and I think from there, I think that to really quiet any negativity around Marcus Freeman, because it did get better from 2022 to 2023, but it needs to take a seismic jump, obviously. And I think that its next step is winning a playoff game. I mean, they had been there a couple of times, but they had never been able to make any noise, obviously, in the past in the previous regime. So I think getting to the playoff, winning a playoff game, and more importantly, even if let's say you win one playoff game, then you lose in the second round, you need to be competitive against the better teams in college football. That was one thing under Brian Kelly that was just not consistent. I mean, forget about consistent. Like, it just didn't happen. Brian Kelly beat the teams that they should always beat, but anytime there was a team that seemed to be on your level or slightly above talent-wise, you were absent at the party. So I think for me, Marcus Freeman needs to show that he can compete against the best teams on the schedule, including when he gets to the playoffs. And making the playoff, winning at least one playoff game, I think that would start to really show that there's growth happening at Notre Dame.
Right. Not only do you do a good job of covering Notre Dame, but you do a great job of talking about the NFL draft as well. We talked to you a lot leading up to the draft, and I just want to get your take on, the quarterbacks. You mentioned Riley Leonard and his skill set. Like, where's he stack amongst some of the top 2025 quarterbacks that we're going to be talking about in next year's class?
I think he's the big wild card in the class right now, to be honest, because I think there's a couple different realities that sit with Riley Leonard as a draft prospect. One, if he's able to stay healthy and he takes the normal, year 3 to year 4 jump or second year starter to year 3 starter jump, I think he could be in the first round conversation, at least a top 50 type of pick. I mean, he's a legit 6'3.5", 215 pounds. He's going to run probably in the 4.5s, if not 4.6 flat, like somewhere around there. So he's a really, really good athlete at the position. He's got NFL arm strength. Everything's there. It's just the injury. Coming out of the 2022 season as his first year starter at Duke, you thought, and I mean, I know like Mel Kiper and a couple other mainstream analysts early on in the season were mocking him in the first round. If he would have just had that true ascension from year 1 to year 2 as a starter, he may have been in the conversation this past year as a first-round pick, but unfortunately the injuries derailed him a little bit, and it's still something that he's kind of dealing with a little bit in this offseason. So if he's able to stay healthy, I think first round is possible. Right now, I would just tentatively say he could be a top 64 pick next year if everything works out, just because the injury is something that still has a little bit of lingering questions.
Outstanding breakdown from our guy, Ryan Roberts. Thank you so much, my man. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, guys. Always appreciate it.
Outstanding. He was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. The other thing that's outstanding is the inventory over at Germain Honda of Dublin. My friends over there, Rich and Jerry, they've got them all lined up, all shined up, ready for you to take them for a test drive. They'll have Memorial Day sales event all month long, and the interest rates will really open your eyes. They're starting as low as 1.90%, and you'll get an extra $1,000 for your trade. 1.90% up to 24 months on the 2024s, the Honda Civic LX sedan, the 24 Honda Accord LX sedan, and the CRV LX two-wheel drive. Go over there, see one of my associates for details, and you will find out that Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, is the Honda dealership here in Central Ohio. Tell them I sent you over there. All right, we will come back, and Maddie, we will shake out the Bengals schedule. Does it look as good to us as it does to some of their fans? We'll let you know next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Here's a listener tweet. Can I tase Common Man in the nuts? Fine by us, but he may like it. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You probably heard me talk about Dr. Mark Levy's custom-fit oral appliances to help treat sleep apnea and how they are so much better than using those bulky, uncomfortable CPAP machines. Well, I've been talking about it for years, and the FDA just recently announced a recall of over 18 million CPAP masks. Yikes! These CPAP masks, the ones with magnetic headgear clips, can potentially interfere with certain medical devices. Pacemakers, implantable defibrillators, neurostimulators, aneurysm clips. And if that happens, that can cause injuries not only to yourself if you use these masks, but also your partner as well. Sleep apnea is no joke, and as I've been saying, it affects everyone in the home. So if you've been diagnosed with sleep apnea and you can't tolerate your CPAP machine anymore, or, just flat out worried it could possibly do harm to you, that sort of thing, call Dr. Mark Levy today for your custom oral appliance at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's right, Dr. Mark Levy, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Since 1950, Sears Heating and Cooling has been your Central Ohio HVAC expert. Founded by Johnny Sears when gas was just 27 cents a gallon, we're still at the top of our game with thousands of perfect customer reviews. Let Sears Heating and Cooling ensure your AC unit is ready to battle the summer heat ahead. Schedule your AC maintenance today and spring new life into your existing AC unit. From Dublin to Bexley, enjoy the local pricing advantage of doing business with your neighbors at Sears. SearsHeatingCooling.com.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
The Fan is is your home for NBA playoff action. Catch every game of the conference finals and NBA finals on The Fan and ESPN Columbus. How does one listen to such magical things? On the Fan app, silly. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. Do it.
Spring. It's a season full of new life and new opportunities to celebrate. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. From weddings and anniversaries to new babies and graduations, plus everything in between, there's no better place to discover the perfect gift for every occasion than the Diamond Cellar. As a true jeweler, we not only curate the finest selection of luxury jewelry from world-class designers, but we can also create something truly one-of-a-kind just for you. Visit the Diamond Cellar on Sawmill Road or Easton Town Center.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. The crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Every bite is better with Pepsi.
Celebrate 30 years of family fun at the Wilds. Book a cabin stay and a zipline adventure over animal pastures. This is family fun. This is the Wilds. Visit thewilds.org and make memories together.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DEBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid-off. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid-off. NMLS 696891.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Sears Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services.
A perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
I think everybody's just a little bit
148, not 1248, dummy.
Just jumped in the, hot tub time machine and looked ahead a little bit. That's
Listen,
all.
I knocked Maddie's nuts over when he was. I didn't say I knocked him in.
Wow.
I said I knocked his. No.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I do. Every day, I got a nice little tub of trail mix, and those
tub o' nuts.
For those that may be watching on YouTube, which, by the way, the Fan is now on YouTube. If you want to watch your favorite shows, you can do so by finding us at 97.1 The Fan, and don't forget, to subscribe to the Fan's YouTube channel as well. So yeah, I've got this nice little. You hear that? Yeah, it's a nice little tub of trail mix every day. And I came in the studio and AR hit me with a little nudge and almost knocked him over. Lucky for me, it was sealed nicely, because that could have been tough for your boy today, because this is my fuel to get me through the day.
Well, I know that. You're right. You got to kind of pick and choose. Maddie kind of pecks all day to keep himself sustained. A tiny little bird bite of eggs and then some nuts. But yeah, see, now for me, if I would have knocked over like a little tin of nuts here, I don't know if I would have picked them up and reconsumed them or not.
Ooh.
I doubt, with all the traffic we get in here, I probably wouldn't have, but it would have been a tough giveaway for me.
It would have depended on how desperate you were. Did you have enough frozen meals to get you through the day? Because if you had nothing,
Jeff Sprinkles.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah. You know what I found myself saying this morning? The Kirk Cousins, okay.
I didn't.
In the clip,
it's weird. I didn't pick it up when you did. I didn't. I don't. CB, do you still have the Kirk Cousins clip
from yesterday that you played?
I never picked up, because I'm usually pretty observant with the Charlie Casserly. Okay.
There's like 3 or 4 of them in the soundbite CB played for us yesterday, and it just, he had an interesting little twang to his okays.
Here's before you played, CB. Here's the funny thing that's going on, and this is probably why we're a little bit thrown off. So the master of impression, Frank Caliendo, is going to be on with us at 1:00, 10 minutes. And he'll stay as long as he wants, whatever he wants to do. But I get a text from him at whenever this was, Maddie, 12:40. He goes, I'm already here. I thought you were further away. So I looked through the studio door, and he's playing ping pong.
He's pulling it up, man. So we got it.
And he's really good.
It's a mini Dave and Buster's here at the Fan. We got it all. Hoops.
If he would have known this, he would have come here at 10 o'clock.
No doubt.
All right, so you have the Cousins clip. Can I hear the okay?
Yeah, give me a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward. I was at the team event at the stadium, was just driving back, and they called me and just said, hey, we're gonna take a quarterback here at the pick. And I said, okay. And it was pretty straightforward. Yeah, I think it's similar to the call that Mark D'Antonio made to me in 2000. That would have been 2007. And he said, hey, we're going to offer another quarterback. I know you've signed Nick Foles. You guys are going to have to compete. And it's like, okay, let's just take the next step.
That's all we need, CV.
All right.
That's all we need. Yeah, it's just his okays were just, I've never heard an okay sounding like that. But shout out to Kirk O'Chains, man.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins.
Here, can you do it for me?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay. How's that Bengals schedule looking for you, big dog?
I like it.
Oh.
I like it. And I think it's strong to quite strong. And I feel like, first of all, they got a little later bye week than the Brownies. They have week 12. It's like breaking my Mel Kiper. They have a week 12 bye, which I always like.
You got to get that ready for the top.
I do like the week 12 bye.
But how do you like that turnaround of from December 1st to December 15th? Steelers at Dallas at Tennessee. That ain't great.
You're getting the Steelers at home off a bye week.
No, I'm talking about the time frame of those games.
Well, the big one, and I saw it from Joe Burrow's burner account, tweeted us a photo of a snapshot from that week 14 through 16 where it's Cowboys, Titans, and Browns. It looks like it's a 10-day stretch for 3 games.
That's the window of time where that's rough. So you get the late bye week, but you have some quick turnarounds there late in the year. So you get rewarded on one side of it, but the NFL comes back and hits you with the people's elbow and an RKO right there with that short window of time where you got to play some physical games.
They have the at Tennessee doesn't bother me. But then
I think Callahan over there.
He knows
hold on, Air. He knows the secrets. He's the head coach, the former offensive coordinator.
Tommy Boy Callahan.
He's got all the secrets.
Market guaranteed.
And they stole his pops from CB squad. So you got Will Levis and company. And I like Tennessee's offseason. I know Will Levis is a massive question mark, but maybe by then he's gained some traction and some confidence because they got plenty of weapons around him. Brought in L'Jarius Sneed at corner, who's an absolute stud. So that Tennessee team, it's never been sexy at the quarterback position the last couple of years, but they always seem to be a tough team. So I'm not going to completely put to bed Tennessee. I just think, like CB just said, from December 9th to December 19th, that's tough, man. That's tough. That could be tough on the bodies.
This is an 11-win football team with this schedule. I love that you guys pointed out for 19 wonderful days, they're going to get Pittsburgh at Dallas, at Tennessee, and home against Cleveland. So they get a Monday to a Sunday, then a Sunday to a Thursday. So you're not wrong there. They do get a little, but they'll be coming off their bye week. So they should be refreshed and ready for that little run. And then they'll have Denver at home, and then they go to Pittsburgh to end the year. Mm-hmm. I mean, honest to God, I'd be shocked if they won anything less than 10.
If 9's in there, I agree with you. I agree with you because to me, I see like a clean 3-1 start and maybe even 4-0 with the way that they have handled Kansas City. Because it's New England at KC, Washington, and then at Carolina. Yeah. They're winning 3 of those 4.
Listen, Baltimore's a toss-up, but it's at home. You like that. So let's just play this game. Even if hypothetically they lost the 2 toughest games on their schedule in the first 5 weeks, Baltimore and Kansas City, they'll win the others. And then they go to New York. Now, here's the bad news. If for some reason they lost the Kansas City, Baltimore, and Cleveland games, that's horrible because all AFC games, 2 of them in the division, and it wouldn't set up very well. And then you'd have Philly on the back end of that would then turn into like a pseudo must win. You feel like you got to have that. But if you lose to Baltimore at home, then you feel like you've got to somehow circle the wagons and win at Baltimore in week 10.
On a short week, Sunday
to Thursday, coming off Vegas at home. At least they'll be at home the week before they'd go to Baltimore. But yeah, I mean, I just see them as a double-digit win team. Everybody stays healthy. It looks like the schedule lays out for that.
Yeah, they haven't given us any reason to believe otherwise, right? Outside of health. That's the only thing that's held them back. T. Higgins dealt with injuries last year. Joey B dealt with injuries. They've had some other things pop up there, but they have one of the best at the most important position. It's just on those big dogs up front to keep him upright. And hopefully he can get through a training camp healthy too, because that's just been a major question mark for him. And honestly, that's kind of a thing that's attached to Joe Burrow now, is this injury stuff. You can't ignore it. It's followed him since he came into the NFL. Now he's got this wrist thing going on, so we'll see how he recovers from that. But as far as the schedule right now on paper, I'm perfectly fine with pulling out a number 2 pencil and hitting them with 10 dubs.
No Sharpie yet.
No. It's pencil season right now. Oh, it's pencil season. A lot of things to pop off.
I think there's a guy in the house that can analyze some schedules as a head coach, or more than one. He's the master of impression. He's Frank Caliendo. He's in town because he has a show at the Funny Bone tomorrow and then 2 on Saturday. We'll have him in studio next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hi, this is Bob Capacci. Worthington Jewelers has done it again. Come see our new collection of Glock watches at Worthington Jewelers, where Columbus gets engaged.
Are you feeling unsure about your current heating and cooling system? With Custom Air's Comfort Consultants, you can get a thorough assessment of your current HVAC equipment and explore future options for replacements, ensuring you make the right choice for your home sweet home. Take control of your comfort and peace of mind today. Go to customairco.com or call us at 614-552-HVAC to schedule your complimentary consultation with one of our experts. Custom Solutions, Custom Comfort, Custom Air.
Only on 10.
Essentially, somebody came into our house and murdered my kid.
The kid who seemed to have everything, targeted by a sextortion scam, took his own life.
Why did you target him?
Now, his mom's on a quest for justice.
To try and help protect other children, families from going through the crime that we have gone through.
With new laws to protect everyone's kids.
This is a new crime. We need it to be a law.
Tonight at 6 on 10 TV.
Jeopardy is on the hot streak with runaway games, high scores, and can't-miss moments.
I've always had nightmares about doing this, Ken. True Daily Double, please.
Oh, that's the spirit.
As this game heats up,
what is the secret of being a world-class Jeopardy player?
Everyone's asking,
could we be witnessing a new super champ in the making?
Find out.
All right, we got a tight game.
On Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7 on 10 TV.
With an opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th, yes, pounds, I'm approaching the 40-pound mark, and I just started Awaken 180. There's no reason you can't set your goal to 40 or more by the 4th. Set the goal and reach it at awaken180weightloss.com.
Technology helps keep everyone comfortable with a smart thermostat.
Turn temperature down.
Temperature down.
Turn temperature up.
Temperature up. But to keep everyone on your team working comfortably, you need more than technology. You need CDW to custom configure Dell Client Solutions devices. Adaptive AI-based software creates a personalized user experience and boosts collaboration so they can stay cool and collected.
Temperature down.
Temperature up.
I'm staying out of this. Dell Client Solutions make adaptive performance possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
This summer, click into cordless power with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Tackle more than half an acre of grass with the convenience and gas-like power of the Ryobi 40-volt battery-powered mower. And keep your flower beds fresh with a 40-volt cordless string trimmer. Then clear debris with the 40-volt jet fan leaf blower. Click into Memorial Day savings happening now at your cordless power source, the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Buddy Wells. Starting with baseball here, the Guardians are off today as they head back home from the 7-game road trip. Cleveland will host Minnesota tomorrow night for the first of a 3-game set. Meanwhile, the Reds continue their West Coast trip. Cincinnati will play the Dodgers tonight for the first of 4 in L.A. That one will get started at 10:10 tonight. Ben Suter gets the start in a bullpen game for the Redlegs.
NBA playoffs, just one game tonight. The Timberwolves host the Nuggets at 8:30. Denver leads the series 3-2. We have a pair of games in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. It's the Rangers at the Hurricanes at 7. New York leads that series 3-2. And the Oilers are at the Canucks at 10. That series is tied at 2-2. And round one of the PGA Championship is in progress today down in Louisville. Xander Schauffele is the current leader. He's 9 under par. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, go ahead and call Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Breaking sports news. When it happens on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back into Rothman and Ice. And he is the impression machine. We had him on last week. He needed a shower from playing ping pong in the last 20 minutes here.
Listen, we broke on here? There it's got to be on. Yeah, just press the buttons. Who cares, Rothman? Bill Rabinowitz told me you're a great tennis player. Use the forehand. Press the button. Come on.
I know. What can I
Hakuna
tell you?
Matata.
Shout out to Bill. We like Bill here. We like Bill.
So
BR.
Funny Bone Columbus.
Yeah, making it happen.
Tomorrow night, 2 shows on Saturday. Really going to put you through the ringer here again in C-Bus. Compare it to other places.
C-Bus.
Yeah,
How great is that? Going right into the Rome impression. I heard C-Bus, and there I was. Great job by Rothman. The Iceman cooling off. Doing a great job. Over to my left, and I'm going to read the Bengals 2024 schedule. August 10th, in a game that does not count. Tampa Bay. Ridiculous. I don't know. We'll get to it.
We're warming up. We're warming up.
I'm just getting warmed up.
There it is. There we go.
You know what? All right, we got to save. That's like I almost want to do these in my mind, like in order of greatness in my mind of what he does. But Maddie, I don't know if you know the story. Tell it, Frank. You met your wife in the audience in Cleveland?
In Cleveland, yeah. She was in the front row, not laughing at anything I did. She didn't know the John Madden impression at the time. And why am I still talking like Jim Rome? I'm not trying to. So she wasn't laughing at all. And then she and her friend went out for drinks or something like that afterwards. The MC and the opener were hitting on her and her friend. I kind of saved them. We went over in the flats in Cleveland. We went over to TGI Fridays, and I ordered some milk and cookies, and she thought that was ridiculous. So ridiculous.
She came to the show, though, but she was not impressed with
she didn't find me funny at all. She came to see, they give away the tickets in the weekdays. She came to see somebody. It was like $10 or something. She was mad that it was a $10 ticket. And I look around our houses. And then this is the greatest investment you've ever made. There's nothing paying off this well. So
did you go over?
All of a sudden, I'm like this guy who likes to tell you I have a lot of money. I'm not usually that, but let's pretend I am.
No, I like when people flex.
So, listen, when I flew in on my plane, FC1, so then I actually proposed to her at the Funny Bone Columbus 2 years later, some way too quickly.
Well, hit us with that story. How did that unfold?
The guy who's actually working with me this week at the Funny Bone is Scott Long. And the way I set it up was her friends and family were in the audience. And I said, I had him make fun of me. I made fun of him afterward. And then from the crowd, he yells out, "If you're so funny, Frank," because then I was talking about my, at that point, girlfriend, Michelle. And her brother went to the Ohio State University. To tie it in locally.
I can't call you the impressionist anymore, though. We'll get sued.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can't use the?
No,
How
they
about
trademarked
the?
it.
Can you use the?
Well, I can use the impression.
Can't use the. So I said, my girlfriend's here, and she's wonderful. And then from the back, Scott Long, who's my opener, yells out, "She's so great. Why don't you marry her?" I was like, "Well, I don't have a ring." So he walks up with the ring. And the rest is history. She threw up in the bathroom at the. Okay, she never said yes.
Did you share milk and cookies together after that?
Yeah. I mean, that's been the whole time. It's been blissful, so to speak. Yeah.
Dunking the cookies, absolutely.
That was 20 years ago. I mean, that's August. I proposed. I don't remember if I proposed on the exact date, but we got married August 9th, I think. So, in downtown Cleveland at the Ritz. So it's like the best and worst at the same time.
The, kind of the history, the John Madden, the John Gruden have become iconic impressions that you do. But the story he used to tell was that John Madden did really not like being impersonated.
Yeah, he didn't like it at all. I mean, somebody's on a pedestal like that. If you're in the club, I think people don't care. I think Tony Siragusa, I saw that. Like Tony Siragusa was like ripping me to shreds one time, like to my face. I mean, he probably did it away from the two. Rest in peace. But he was ripping at. And I said, "What's up with him?" To somebody, and they're like, "Well, he's you're not a player. You didn't play. You weren't in the locker room, so it's not the set. You're not one of the guys." So I go, "Oh," and I'm out there making fun of football players all the time, and it's like, what right do I have to, I have to kind of take it. If you're talking to football players, they can do stuff I've never been able to attain in my life. It's always that when you're a comedian, you're punching down on guys who are way above you, and you're like, come on. They're like, so
it's the ultimate compliment, though.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, but Madden, when you're a coach and nobody makes fun of you, like he was the one. He held court. And I finally met him at the Super Bowl in Dallas, and it made his grandkids laugh, and that was really the turn. That was what changed it. So
you mentioned Tony. Like, do you have a story or two where somebody in the crowd was trying to give it to you or get you off your game? Does that happen often, or is it just kind of a clean path for you more times than not?
Tony, what was that?
Goose, where you said he came after you, he didn't like some of the stuff you
Well, this was not in the crowd. This was just like because he worked at Fox at the same time.
I got you.
People do. I mean, people will sometimes. I have the clubs just kind of clean it up outside. I'll make a. Pauly Shore used to have this word spatula, like if he worked in spatula. So I'll say something. Hey, I might go one time back and forth, but then if they start to take over, the crowd isn't there to see it. So, and at the end of the show, I let people call out different impressions because I don't get to everything. Mm-hmm. So I let people yell things out and have fun with it at that point. And that can go wrong, but that's why I keep it in the last 10 minutes or so, like almost as a bonus, because then if it does start to go off the rails, I can just end the show at any point. So it's kind of an extra thing.
He's Frank Caliendo, the awesome impressionist that's here in Columbus. He will do the Funny Bone Columbus tomorrow night and 2 shows on Saturday. The Morgan Freeman that you started doing, I think, to me, was the one I would say, well, there's no one that could do Morgan Freeman because it's so unique. But
I don't think so. There are people that did it. I mean, it was just that I took it with. I started just reading things like sports and stuff like that. I was going to look up the "I'm Coming Home."
Oh well, that was LeBron's letter. While you're looking that up, the interesting thing to me is that his voice never really changes. Like it's Shawshank all day. Where I do feel like when you do, because I love your Al Pacino. And I feel like when you do Al Pacino, it is Scent of a Woman Al Pacino.
It's post Scent of a Woman,
it's not like
because
Scarface.
There was early Al Pacino who was way up here, Dog Day Afternoon, that kind of Al Pacino. And then for some reason, as he got to Scent of a Woman, every character later was blind and a Southern colonel. That's what I'm talking about. Make it happen. Here we go.
And now, like at the Academy Awards, I don't even know if he's present.
He's speaking in German for parts of this, and then he was talking. And the winner is, I forgot the nominees.
It's like, what are you doing?
Because everyone, when he first, Scarface in the 80s was that, but that's a totally different accent.
People do that. Say hello to my little friend. That whole thing. And that's what people would do an Al Pacino impression, but they'd be doing Scarface.
Right.
Like, that's like saying, I do Tom Hanks, and then you're like, life is like a box of chocolates. No, that's Forrest Gump. That's not Tom Hanks. And all I can do as Tom Hanks is the Wilson.
Incredible. The Gruden one is not an easy one, but I love the fact that you actually did the QB camp with him. So he was obviously
that was with Derek Carr. I was sitting there with Derek Carr. Was pretty crazy, and because he was just out of college, and said it was Derek Carr's birthday, and it's like, you want a birthday present, man? We got you cake. It's going to be pretty good right here, man. It's funny because if you listen to John Gruden, you bring it up a little bit, it becomes Sean McVay. Sean McVay's right up here talking like that kind of thing. I remember playing, it was 25 years ago. We were playing, and it was, we did a trips left. I'm like, what are you talking? You remember that? How do you know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Jeez.
So we got some Cavs fans that are licking their wounds this morning. Boston put the final nail in the coffin, and we were curious if, maybe Stephen A or Stephen B.
I have to say, I understand where you're coming from with some of these things. When you beat the Orlando Magic, you got to believe that we can beat 5'7" that are on the court at the same time. But when it comes to the Boston Celtics, it's a different game. It's not the New York Knicks. But it's up there, Jason Tatum. If he takes over here, if Jason Tatum's playing at a level I know Jason Tatum can play at, you're indefinite in dubiousness.
I love it. It's awesome. awesome.
We saw LeBron actually at the Cavs game the other night. He and his wife came back, and and it all went crazy here because it was like, well, could he actually bookend this thing? And then his son Bronny,
I'm coming back home. Yeah, give me that. I'll rewrite it on the air as we do it.
Yeah, you could do a sequel to the
I just look at LeBron. LeBron is to me a diabolical genius. I mean, anything he's ever done, I feel like he does on purpose to send a message to somebody. It's either super brilliance or what's the word? Obsessive, not obsessive, passive aggressive. Like he puts tweets will go out and you're like, it's not even a secret message. You don't even need your secret decoder ring. You're like, well, LeBron's doing it again. LeBron's forcing the Lakers' hand. They're gonna have to draft Bronny now. Here we go.
And they all probably won't care.
Yeah, I mean, when a guy's that good and he sells that many tickets, it's like he's still even though he's not at the level he once was. He's still a massive draw.
That's crazy.
He's an entity.
He's a needle mover. Which is the same thing with Tiger, right? Tiger is kind of the story, right? No matter what tournament he's in, he's not playing at the the level anymore. Yeah. But he gets the ratings.
But if he's there's ratings.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's these guys who are living legends. That is always, it's cool and at the same time. But I look at LeBron like I look at Aaron Rodgers. Like they start to run the league themselves almost. Aaron Rodgers he'll start dictating what the Jets are going to do. And by the way, the Jets, they're the leadoff game for the season, right?
No, they're Monday Night Football.
They're Monday night?
Monday night game.
Oh, their first Monday night.
First Monday night game.
Because they get a big debut. That's Aaron Rodgers gets another nighttime debut game.
Monday night, right?
Which with the conspiracy theorists, if he gets hurt again, it's all on purpose, man.
Here's the crazy part, Frank. The guy that tackled him last year that led to the injury is now playing for the team that they're going up against this year.
I mean you got to be on Ghoul or something like that. No tag backs. Is that a thing in the NFL? Can you put the red shirt on during the game? Aaron Rodgers, Western University. That's all I can do. That voice is so close to Patrick Mahomes. It's just down a little bit there, that kind of thing right there. So it's those quarterbacks with Muppet voices.
When you try to learn a new voice, what's that process? Is it I'm going to lock myself in a room with a tape recorder?
Yes, no, it's just like trying. But I do as much of that anymore, but I used to. Yeah, it's just constant repetition. It's like sports. It's the same thing as sports. If you're going to learn a skill in any sport, what do? You work, you break it down, you find the movements in it, and then you do those movements that build the action. My daughter was in gymnastics, so they would like roll down a wedge, to do a backwards roll, or let's say you're going to do a back handspring. You lean off of this, a 3-foot like pedestal type of thing or mat, and then you do the end part of it, and then you work your way to jump to get to that point. Or baseball swing, you work on the step and then the turn and where your hands to the ball. Like they're teaching it differently now, though, the Aaron Judge thing with the whip. But there's you break down little pieces of the swing or whatever, like I said, skill you're doing, and that's the same thing with an impression. Morgan Freeman's the one I always talk about, where I just went, you drop your voice down as low as you can go, and you get in that range there. Now you try and find. And this is like months of work. And then I would say, yes, 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 yes. And I hear it, yes. And then I'd start to play with, yes. Truth of the matter is. And that's when they realized this was going quite a different direction.
It's amazing. I almost feel like as a kid, you start doing these voices, and whether your parents or somebody said, "What are you going to go pro with that thing?" And you did. You went pro.
Yeah. Well, I was a catcher in baseball. I don't know if I told you about this, but I would always talk to the batters behind the plate, the umpires, and make them laugh. So it was kind of like I just found my niche there. So did that, and coming up, growing up, playing sports. But it's. Yeah, the people tell you, what are you going to do with that? But my dad was a minor league baseball player, so he did his own thing. So he was a C student who was just, believe we could be baseball players, AAU national champions, 14 and under, Urbandale, Iowa, 1988. Craig Counsell was on the 18-year-old team.
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Manager of the Cubbies, Craig Counsell.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Okay.
My brother used to throw him batting practice.
That's a shame.
I taught
he
him the
left.
batting stance.
Yeah.
So I did
What a
not.
turncoat. He left. All right. So you'll stick around, hopefully.
Yeah.
right?
Me and Ryan Day.
Yeah.
Ryan Day follows me for some reason on Twitter. I don't know what that is. So.
Well, he beat you in studio. He was here in studio
that's
on
yesterday.
Wednesday. So
Right there.
you're following him now, actually. But yeah, that's
I
pretty
just
awesome.
had a great joke I held back on.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us all. We go to break.
Did he talk behind your back right to your face like Tony did?
No. This was just going to be a Michigan joke.
No, please. That's a great.
No.
That's a great tease. Frank. Great tease in the business.
Tease in the
Might
business.
begin to unfollow after that joke. No.
I didn't say the joke. I held it back. That counts as a holdback.
All right, so I've got a whole list for you. So get ready, take a nap, do what you need to do. We'll tell you how you can get tickets to the Funny Bone Columbus as well, where Frank will be performing tomorrow night and Saturday. Back in moments with the many voices and faces of Frank Caliendo on Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hi, this is Justin Hinderer. Come see us at John Hinderer Ford in Washington Courthouse for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles in Fayette County. We're all in on America and proud to be your Ford AgPack dealer. Don't forget to ask about our convenience and mobile service at the home of the lifetime powertrain guarantee, including engine, transmission, rear differential, and drive shaft on all qualifying vehicles. John Hinderer Ford, just off 62 at Washington Courthouse, or hindererford.net. We love what moves you.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
This is the sound of a well-tuned air conditioner ready for summer. This is the sound of an air conditioner that was not tuned up by Apex Pros.
Excuse me, I represent the Don't Make Stuff Up on the Radio Association.
I'm kind of doing something here.
That sound of a not tuned up air conditioner?
Oh, you mean this?
You made that up.
Well, it's a dramatization. See, most air conditioner troubles can be prevented with a simple tune-up before summer by Apex Pros. The pros who knows.
And that.
The pros who knows.
You can't say sentences like that.
Look, it's just our cute way of saying
that cute bear. Does a bear tune up my AC?
What? No, it's people. I mean, a person, a guy, maybe a gal.
Making stuff up.
An Apex tune-up helps your AC last longer, lowers your energy bills, and prevents this.
You did it again.
Man, you're a real hothead. Sit under this air conditioning.
What air conditioning? I don't hear any...
See? Schedule a tune-up at apexpros.com.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex Bear. No doubt about it, Columbus loves Apex Pros. apexpros.com.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Sunday morning at 9 on The Fan.
Have you heard? Skyline now has nachos with a layer of queso blanco under that amazing Skyline chili and cheese. Try them straight up or get the deluxe nachos with lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and sour cream at participating Skyline restaurants for a limited time.
Every shot, every goal, ESPN Bet has fans covered for the biggest moments on the road to the championship. The exclusive sportsbook of ESPN is the only place to find special offers and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities throughout the playoffs. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt.
One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Expect a nice day today, but the clouds roll in late tonight. Today, expect a high of 78 this afternoon. Tonight, we drop down to about 65 degrees. Expect rain on your Friday morning. We get up to the middle 70s for tomorrow afternoon. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
All right, welcome back in. What a privilege to have the man in here. The man. He is the impressionist of all time, and he is Frank Caliendo. He's at the Funny Bone Columbus. Tomorrow night, 7:30, Saturday, 6 and 8:30. So 2 shows Saturday. Go to columbus.funnybone.com and do it now and get your tickets. You will not be disappointed. And you, in fact, will probably be the most fun thing you've done in a long time. Frank is in studio here with us. What a cool thing that is. I was asking you about certain people. I just learned, and you probably know this now, you're going to get a lot of content in the next few months because now we have 2 scheduled presidential debates now. June and September.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Will you watch them for content, or you don't really need to do?
I don't know. I try not to get into the actual politics of stuff. I think finding, I do a bit about Trump and Biden having a debate because I didn't know if that would. Like, my joke is, and before anybody gets mad at me, listen to the whole thing. Trump makes up his own rules. He doesn't play by any rules, and I'm not sure if Biden knows them. So Trump will go off in the middle of a debate and just start doing his own thing.
That's great, Joe, but what are we going to do if we're attacked by dragons? What are you going to do if there's a dragon attack?
Nobody said there were going to be dragons. Come on.
And then Biden would wander around in a circle for a little bit, looking out for the dragon.
Why was a young man growing up in Westeros, Pennsylvania? There was dragons and a dinosaur.
And then Trump would kind of screw it up by
yeah, that's right, Joe. Fire-breathing dragons. And my friend, Tyrion Lannister, he's a tiny little guy. But he's good. He's a good guy. He always pays his debts.
So, yeah, I'll watch some of that. When Biden did the pause thing, when he read the teleprompter, I could just see Trump at every tour stop for Joe Biden, just at the teleprompter.
Type in pause, pause, PAWS, pause.
Just pull a Ron Burgundy out of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you've done President Bush, you've done President Clinton, you've done all of them.
People take this stuff real serious. They took it kind of seriously before, but it's the last few years. It's like, I just relax.
What's the coolest event that you've worked? Meaning, who was in the room that you were like, man, that was awesome performing for them.
There are a couple different types of things like that. One would be the owners' meeting at the Super Bowl in Minneapolis, which was interesting. I tried to talk to Jerry Jones. I'd done a Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones pulled a Jerry Seinfeld looking at his watch kind of move. I was like, Mr. Jones, I'm talking to this guy over here. He was like, oh my gosh. But that was really interesting because trying to make billionaires laugh is really hard because it's like, what do you say? And do you make fun of their teams and stuff like that? So Mark Davis was in the room, and it's right after Gruden got the $10 million contract. He's like, hey, man, can we lengthen this contract a little bit? What are you doing over there, man? Mark, let's go get some haircuts. So we're going to save money on it. Don't worry about it. So trying to think of some other, there have been some pretty, I did the Congressional Correspondents' Dinner with Dick Cheney sitting next to me. That was, years and years ago. It's a lot of times it's almost more like private events or something, and somebody's in the room. I did an event for whose birthday was it? Jim Gray's birthday. It was Jim Gray's birthday party, and in the crowd was Dr. J, Bill Walton. How great is this? Paying attention has never been my strong suit. Larry King. Muhammad Ali was there. I mean, it was crazy. Wow. I mean, it was surreal talking to some of the people that were there. So, the moments like that, iconic. I grew up watching sports, so iconic sports people. I always like it when there's, somebody super famous too can be cool. But if you make somebody laugh, that's really a cool feeling. One of the coolest things I ever did, I did a sketch with Ben Stiller, and it was directed by Bob Odenkirk. And that was because I made Stiller laugh in the middle of
Better Call Saul.
Yeah, Better Call.
Okay.
Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do, and so do I. Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. But I made Ben Stiller laugh during the sketch, and I was like, this is pretty cool. He broke during the sketch.
I tell you, there's a big difference though, Frank, of having the gift you have and being able to cultivate this gift, and then also being able to perform. Because doing it as a kid or growing up or college for your friends, and then when somebody says to you, no, this is what you should be doing for a living, or you feel like you could make a lot of money, or this is what I want to do the rest of my life, I would say the leap in nerves had to be
you
there.
just have to learn the formula to doing stand-up. There's just ways to make it work, and you just have to gain stage presence and confidence, and it just takes time.
You wanted to be a stand-up comic?
No, I never. Okay. I just didn't know what I wanted to do for real. I mean, I went to school for broadcast journalism, so I didn't want to start out in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, holding a mic, asking, why did the chicken cross the road? And it's not even a joke; it's real. So to me, that was kind of, I just got the degree to get the degree, and then I just decided to do what I wanted to, and comedy and voices seemed to be the way to go. But I listen to old stuff I used to do, and you hear my old John Madden, hey folks, John Madden here. I'm like, oh, that is so bad, because it became this John Madden that sounded like the real John Madden. I mean, it became cartoony again. But it was those types of, that evolution.
All right. Do you want to do a little rapid fire and play some of these voices for me?
Yeah,
in my head that have been dancing in my head for a while. First of all,
how about this to start?
Yeah, okay.
I was trying to think. I should rewrite this before anyone cared the last time where I would play basketball. Just adding certain words to update it. Like if LeBron rewrote this and then just before the last time anyone cared where I would play basketball, I was a kid from Northeast Ohio. That's I thought it would be better than that, but if you called out some names, I could read this as other names.
I'll tell you what. Can you stick? I
can stick around whenever. I don't even have a show tonight. I'm just here for this.
That's what I thought. Right? We'll do one more segment with our friend Frank Caliendo.
I got a great Ryan Day. I'm going to do that.
Oh, you said you were going to.
No, I don't really.
I was going to say, God, people are going to love hearing that.
Let's just play stuff from yesterday and tell them it's me.
Yes, absolutely. We'll blame it all on you. All right, we'll come back with Frank Caliendo, and you'll hear some more amazing impressions. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
There was some speed to this.
The sudden roars.
Gauged it just right.
That Sunday celebration.
From Oslo to Ohio, Victor Hovland is the champion.
It's better live. Join us at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, June 3rd through 9th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. I need you to listen up real quick. One of the largest manufacturers in the United States for CPAP machines recently announced they're suspending sales of all their breathing machines over problems with the devices. Millions of Philips Respironic ventilators and CPAP machines are being recalled now that they've reached a plea agreement with the FDA. That all doesn't sound good. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's why I'm not going to deal with my sleep apnea, because I don't want to have a bulky CPAP. Well, this is where you need to call my guy, Dr. Mark Levy. Dr. Mark Levy has dedicated his practice to helping people who suffer from sleep apnea, and he can create a custom mouthpiece for you that stops your snoring and effectively treats your sleep apnea with no CPAP machine. Yeah, he's in network with most major medical insurers and is a Medicare provider too. This is Dr. Mark Levy's passion. He's been doing this a long time. He wants to help you with your sleep apnea and also make it so your partner doesn't want to murder you dead because you snore so much. So do what I did. Call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Morning Juice.
The real zoo is just the humans here. We are the zoo. I think the next time I take William there, we're just going to hang out like by a park bench and just watch the people.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
If you're about to get engaged or ready to walk down the aisle, your true love deserves a true jeweler, the Diamond Seller. As a true jeweler, we not only have designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. Visit the Diamond Seller today.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and we're proud to serve our customers for over 40 years, where our name means a great deal. So now it's time to drop those prices so you can save big. All bulk mulchers are now $10 off a yard. I told you, it's time to save. Visit us online at ohiomulch.com.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jung's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, Frank Caliendo spending the afternoon with us. Amazing. Funny Bone Columbus. So columbus.funnybone.com. Tomorrow night, 7:30, 6 o'clock on Saturday, 8:30 on Saturday. Very few tickets remain. So if you like what you're hearing, which I'm sure you do, go see it in person. Because I was asking you during the break, sometimes you like to close your eyes with an impressionist and say, wow, it sounds exactly like it. But sometimes you don't even have to say a word. President Bush, President Biden, like I can look at your face and say, that's him. So you like doing...
Yeah, I like to do it in person because I call it the pizza slice. It's a line across the eyebrows and a dot down at the chin. It's a triangle downward. And even with these fat cheeks, I can tell who it is, if it's Bush or Donald Trump or Joe Biden. Come on. Joe Biden, my joke about him is he's the person I've seen listen with his eyes. So, folks, come on. I'm going to fall off. What are you doing? So when you get that, when you watch how the person's mouth forms, it tells you how they talk. You watch their eyes, it tells you how they think. So Jeff Goldblum, ooh, yes, of course. I'm trying to conjure up the mystical spirits of what I'm talking about. Oh, yes, of course. So when you can capture the eyes, people kind of look into your soul and see that, oh, that's the acting part of it. So it's not just a voice. It's like trying to encompass the whole person.
Real quick, before we get back to some impressions, talk about the warm-up for you. Like athletes go through, obviously, calisthenics and high knees and all that stuff.
I do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Calisthenics, high knees.
Everything, curls. I'm sure you're doing it all.
I kind of just show up, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm more of a Jokic. I just kind of finish watching a horse showing and then just show up at the court and release my jump shot behind my head somewhere.
Pre-game meal?
I don't eat before. No, I don't eat before. I found that can be problematic.
Just coffee? What are we doing?
No, nothing. I go for it. Yeah. So,
wow, nice.
Yeah, it's just I'm pretty simple. I try and do everyday stuff. I see people really do. I remember watching Jim Brewer getting down and doing push-ups before. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm getting ready. I'm like, can I get ready? aren't the people like clapping for you enough? That juices me up. So.
Do you feel like you do 2 or 3 voices? Like if you had to rank your 3 of how you feel there
are some that are better. There's some that are more cartoony because they aren't as good. There's some that if you just say the right things, you can make them work. Mm-hmm. And there's some that are so close they bleed into each other. Like I try to do Matthew McConaughey. I believe there are ways to do that sort of thing right there. But it becomes Jerry Jones. I've been thinking about it a lot in the shower. I have been.
Oh, man. What's one that really gave you fits? Like one throughout your career that you just...
Oh, forever. Chris Berman was tough for the longest time.
Good, though.
Because you say what you will, but nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Yeah.
Because it used to be Al Pacino that gets so close.
There are those... I think I told you last time when I called, there are those voices that are so close that they bleed into each other, right? So it's that type of thing, and it's hard. That's where you have to, like... get good with the muscle of your larynx or whatever it is. I don't know. I never looked it up. But that works. But there are those voices. Like Tom Hanks is not that far off of Morgan Freeman, who's not that far off of Frank Underwood from House of Cards. It's Morgan Freeman and Tom Hanks is in there somewhere. Well, so you find those little things, and they're pretty close to each other. That was a very bad example, but at least I can be honest.
So during the break, I've an obsession with all the videos because they're so good, and I saw you doing some videos like this is how you can try to talk like this guy,
right? And
I told Maddie during the break, the Robert Downey Jr. cadence to me, I never picked up on until you did it.
So if you count. Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. would be 1, 2, burp, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's all you got to do.
I feel like I'm sitting right next to Iron Man right here.
That's right, Matty Ice. It's the new Matty Ice, not the guy who threw a bunch of interceptions for Atlanta. Borderline Hall of Famer till that Super Bowl, I guess. Whatever.
Like a tick in there somewhere.
So, yeah, it's just when you find those, like how many Christopher Walkens have you heard? You've heard low, you've heard high, you've heard in the middle. So, and then there are like little phrases that get you going, like with Goldblum, it's ooh, yes, that kind of a thing. Or Denzel would be okay, all right. You know, you get there and that's okay, all right. That's what I'm talking about right here. That's for you. That's for you.
That's incredible.
So those, when you find those little things, then you can start to say more stuff, or you just go, "Did you touch my drum set?"
That's unbelievable. The John C. Reilly.
That's a pretty good one, I guess. Yeah. I was looking at the Bengals schedule, which is what I was going to talk about today, and it's pretty interesting. Get to the regular season, New England Patriots. That's going to be totally different. You know, Tom Brady's not playing anymore. He had a roast the other day. Glad I wasn't part of that.
Frank Caliendo with us in town for the 3 shows Friday and 2 on Saturday at Funny Bone Columbus. The other one that I agree with, there's some you have to animate, and there's some it's just from what you come up with script-wise, but there's nothing that you really have to do for Lou Holtz other than just get the saliva going, right?
Just understand that your salivical glands are going at a rate that I've never reached before. That's what it is. You're going to you and sometimes I love the mouth. That's what it is. You got to understand.
He must have had a real tough time during COVID.
There's just flying everywhere. That's going to be. That's what you have to say right here.
I talked to somebody who played for him. It was interesting because I was like he and Lou Holtz would be the first to tell you the way he talks. He goes, "Only in America can a guy who talks like me become a motivational speaker." I was like, what was that like, you know, when you're playing? Like, we got to get out there and do what we're going to do. Guys are like, I have no idea what he said, but we're going to win.
I told Maddie a secret one that I uncovered from you the other day was Michael Keaton.
Oh, right. It's just a sniff that starts with the, I guess, you get down there, start to figure it out. This gets pretty good. You were worried that Matt wouldn't know who he was, but he was Vulture in Spider-Man. So, I mean, he's got, I guess, it's like he's always just smelled something really bad. Like, what's that? Does he smell it? It doesn't smell good.
A lot of people can try to do like the whole Adam Sandler from SNL, like, no, give me something like that.
Right.
But you do it,
You got to try
have the baby talk too,
well,
right?
You got to start out with the normal talking one where I just finished. I was on the court with the Ohio State University. Don't sue me. And I was out just playing some hoops, and then I went and did the Tonight Show, and I didn't change.
Thinking, what you just finished a pickup basketball game and you're on TV?
Well, I'm Adam Sandler. I do what I want. Yeah, it's pretty good. I just shot a Netflix movie. It took us 4 minutes to write, and we're done with it.
One of my favorites. I mean, you got so many good ones, but I love your Charles Barkley.
That's
man.
guys. Listen what I'm talking about. Listen, we're talking about the NBA is deep into the playoffs, and the NFL upstaged them by putting things on the calendar. That's crazy. That's really, really crazy. When you're just putting things on the books and more people care about that than the NBA, than the playoffs in your league, you got to fix something. That's load management. Popovich changed the game. Now, Greg Popovich changed the game in some ways for the better. In some ways, I still think he's the crypt keeper.
I went to see a Spurs game. We went to see Victor Wembanyama play when they played the Spurs or the Suns, and I'm not sure what Pops is doing. He wasn't like it was a TV timeout. He was hanging out with the refs and other guys were coaching. I'm like, he's not doing anything.
He just got an extension too.
Of course,
they drafted Wemby. Said, you know what? I got time. I'll
make this happen.
Oh, it's so great.
Wemby's the greatest creative player ever.
It's crazy.
Oh,
in person, what was that?
His sister walked by, and she's like 6'2" or 6'3", really? And looks exactly like the same facial feature. I was like, holy cow, that person looks like Victor Wemby. Oh, my gosh, that's got to be a family member. Like when you realize how tall the person is walking by.
We have a lot of fun with Mel Kiper on this show. You did a skit once, I think, for ESPN where you were like ranking his caffeinated drinks or something.
That was the first time I ever did it.
Incredible.
I did talk about a tremendous situation. Cold coffee flying under the radar, no chance of lap spill, getting it. That's what I do with the Kiper when I don't know where to go. There it is. Tremendous. And Mel called me after that. He's like, the entire Kiper family enjoying the impression and wondering, hey, I'm going to Vegas in a couple of weeks. You ever been to Vegas? I know you worked there for a little bit. You ever see Blue Man Group? Are they actually blue people from another planet? What's the whole idea behind them using the ductwork? They making the sounds of the toilet paper, spilling the paint everywhere. At the end of the day, I don't want to be the guy cleaning up after Blue Man Group.
It's awesome, man. He's
so good, man.
He is the best, man. It's one of the coolest things you'll ever experience if you go to see Frank at the Funny Bone Columbus this weekend. The other thing I was telling Maddie real quickly is you pick up on the cadence of Samuel L. Jackson. I didn't think that was...
That's everything he ever... Like, they rewrite it for him. I will strike down upon thee. Yeah, so it's I made the guy print this stuff out, so you got to do a little bit of the just throw out some impressions. I'll start with Morgan Freeman. Before anyone ever cared where I would play basketball, I was a kid from Northeast Ohio. You just got to throw voices.
Robin Williams.
Oh, it's where I walked. It's where I ran. It's where I cried. It's where I bled.
Keep them coming so I can change voices. Keep it going. Figure out somebody I can do.
Shaq.
This holds a special place in my heart. People there have seen me grow up. You got to pick.
Jim Rome.
I sometimes feel like I'm their son. Their passion can be overwhelming.
Charles Barkley. It drives me. I want to give them hope where I can. I want to inspire them.
And when I can, and my relationship with Northeast Ohio is bigger than basketball, man.
And I didn't realize it 4 years ago. And I do now. I mean, there you go.
It's like having a machine you can hit. You should have. I mean, I don't know if you could do this, but yeah, you know.
According to my sources, at this particular time, it appears Caliendo is changing voices faster than you can call them out. He was looking for something different to happen, and it wasn't happening. And then Seth Rogen showed up.
Oh, I didn't even know I was going to do that.
All right, you and I have a little bit of a tradition before we cut you loose. You know my favorite skit of all time.
31 flavors to choose from?
This is gonna be tough.
There we go.
That's the sign off.
There we go.
It's so good to see you, man.
Yeah,
See you
thanks for having
tomorrow
me.
night. Funnybone, Columbus.funnybone.com. Snatch up the very few remaining tickets. I'll be there. Frank, of course, will be on the stage, and we'll all have a great time this weekend. Frank?
Rack me. I am out.
Done. All right. Buckeye Bolt. And we didn't make you say the Ryan Day joke. We kept everybody
No,
all
there was
happy.
no joke. There was just, I love him.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Bucks. That's what we get. Just go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Yeah.
Go Bucks.
Buckeye Bolted up next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy, the Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride, or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte, each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
Goals. Have you written yours down? We have, and we review them often. This is Mike Weens, founder of CARE Heating and Cooling. CARE's goals are defined by measuring many things, and our most important goals are not measured in dollars. CARE constantly seeks feedback through surveys and online reviews, not only from our existing customers, but new ones as well. CARE tracks how often we solved your problem the first time, and if CARE was easy to contact and convenient to deal with. Was a carbon monoxide test done? Was the reason for a repair made clear? Did our technician adequately explain the difference between a required repair and a recommended service? We want to know if our technicians treated you and your home with respect and care, and were our customers' needs thoroughly analyzed and addressed. Simply put, CARE Heating and Cooling sets goals designed to make CARE the best service company in Central Ohio. CARE Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of OT or a shot on goal in the first period.
Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS Cars for kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards scoring courtside seats for your favorite team. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can score courtside seats. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but courtside seats can be astronomical. Maybe if your team plays in a smaller market, you could swing it. Even still, it's unlikely. Maybe fourth row, which are still incredible seats that you'll enjoy greatly. Savings possible. Courtside, long shot. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Progressive cannot guarantee that someone really tall will not sit in front of you at the game, rendering your excellent seats just okay.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of thrown off a little bit because it's almost like you asked me to hit a golf ball in front of Jack Nicklaus. Like, I'm a little bit thrown off. That was about as fun of a time that I've had on this radio show ever.
Yeah, that was...
What a solid he did coming in for us and spending some time here in Columbus and having the 3 shows this weekend. And like I said, if you haven't seen him or like what you heard or you've seen him and want to go back just for more of the same, do it at the Funny Bone.
Yeah, his ability right there at the end to hit those quick hitters and switch gears the way that he did was absolutely ridiculous. And when he did Morgan Freeman, I made it a point to look away and kind of close my eyes, and it really feels like you're sitting right next to Morgan Freeman. And as a big Marvel fan, when he did Robert Downey Jr., so I told him, I said, I feel like I'm sitting next to Iron Man right now. So talented. So please, got to go check him out because he's an awesome actor and a really good dude, too. Really good guy.
And Ryan Day follows him on Twitter, so maybe Coach Day will be at one of the shows. You really luck into that.
There you go.
He was on with Bobby and Beamer, Morning Juice. Carp hooked him up, got him in here, and we're very appreciative because we got us some pretty good content out of this. And, we all want to know about the quarterback, right? But honest to God's truth about this team is this defense and the specialness that it can provide, because it's the one thing that held them. They were so close. You get one stop, you get this. I know it's kind of flipped a little bit now with changing to the quarterbacks, and people are like, well, we still score 40-plus a game and all that. But he did talk about what he thinks this defense will be.
The first thing is you got to get the right people in the right seats, and I think we've done that. It started off, like you said, with Cody Simon coming back, and then Jack, and then Tyleek, and JT, and Denzel, and Lathan, and then you add Caleb in there. And then you mix in, Jordan Hancock, who's probably one of the most underrated guys on our team right now. I think he's tremendous. Going to have another great year. IGB, Ty Hamilton's another guy who's kind of an unsung hero right now on our defense. Really solid player. And then, moving Sonny Styles to linebacker, you got, CJ Hicks in the mix. Arvell Reese is coming on. So there's a lot of excitement around the defensive side of the ball. We're going to have to play with depth. It's going to be a long season. But to me, it's all about the mindset. The talent is there, and individually, that's where you try to get better during the spring. How do you get better as a player, technically, fundamentally? And as we head into the summer, now it's the chemistry. Now it's the group coming together as a defense and building that identity.
He mentioned a couple guys that I think are going to be very critical to this defense's success, and it's Tyleek and Ty Hamilton. Because, CB's Brownies grabbed up Mike Hall, and we know he was a guy that could create a lot of pressure in the middle of that defensive line. You got the 2 vets on the ends with JT and Jack, but that's going to be an important deal too, right? Or those guys being able to push the pocket in the middle and win those matchups against the guards or the centers or whatever it may be on any given Saturday. Because I think if those guys can give you consistent play every single game, what they're going to be able to do to help out that back end and that secondary, which I think has a chance to be the best in the country, is going to be such a big deal, right? Because you're going to have a unit on the back end that is going to be, I think, all over these receivers and tight ends. And if they're not going to be asked to cover for very long because of the guys up front, like this defense really, really could be a special one. But Tyleek and Ty, those are 2 guys I can't wait to watch on Saturdays, they are, because if they get good ball from them, then you're really on to something.
Yeah, I think we want to get back to this defensive line really imploding pockets and getting after quarterbacks. It's the one thing they can do on any given Saturday. You want it consistently. You want them to beat guys up front and really I said this the other day, back when I really thought, they were the silver bullets, back in the 90s. I felt like I always used this word opportunistic with their defense. That there was always a pick six or an interception or a strip sack waiting to happen. It just kind of felt like that to me. And I think they need to get back to that. And he did comment, because we had talked about RJ, his son, and the recruitment of it at all. And he did explain what he believes is the football future for his son, RJ.
Growing up, I wasn't sure if he would like football or not. There was a point where I didn't think he had any chance of being an athlete. And then we actually have some videos of it. We still laugh with the girls about it. But he's embraced it, and he just loves it. It's his life. And so because of that, I get an opportunity to be around some great people in the sport. And so more importantly, just try to expose him to different people and connections and see it from a different lens. He gets a chance to see what goes on at Ohio State. But to go down and visit at Clemson, visit South Carolina, Dabo and Shane both do an unbelievable job down there. And so just try to get him around great people, as we know that this game of football, and it's our job to make sure we continue with the next generation, respecting the sport and continuing those relationships.
It's got to be cool to see his son go from where he mentioned and kind of joking with him early on in the process to where he is now. And it does seem like, AR, he's evolving into a heck of a quarterback, right? He's still a young guy, I think, going into his sophomore year, and he's already got a couple offers here and there. He just mentioned the visit down to Clemson. So, if they have their eyes on him, that kind of tells you what some of these programs think he can be. So he's going to learn from the best. He's got a lot of resources available to him, and it seems like he's ready to put in the work and become, the best quarterback he can be over the next couple of years.
No doubt. All right, that's today's Buckeye Bulletin. All right, quick minute for my friends at the Bath Authority and thebathauthority.com. You talk about remodeling and all that, and people talk about what they're going to do. Oh, we need new carpet, we need this and that and the other. But your bathroom it just feels like a place that maybe you don't think about turning into something you're really proud of and something that you really like to go into every morning, every night. So my friends at the Bath Authority, honestly, they can transform yours into whatever you envision. That's the cool part. You can replace your outdated shower. You can pick out an incredible walk-in tub if that's what you like. And every unit can be custom built by you. All the premium accents and accessories that you want in there, and make it your own. It can all be installed, believe it or not, in as little as 1 day by their certified factory technicians. And right now, Bath Authority is giving you $1,500 off a new shower or bath and 36 months of interest-free financing. You really want to check out who they are and what they're about at thebathauthority.com. And believe me, a better bath awaits you. We'll come back after a SportsCenter update with a deep dive. We'll update the PGA Championship. Tiger Woods, is he in it? We'll let you know next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Death, taxes, and beating Michigan every damn year. This is your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Only on 10.
Essentially, somebody came into our house and murdered my kid.
The kid who seemed to have everything, targeted by a sextortion scam, took his own life.
Why did you target him?
Now, his mom's on a quest for justice.
To try and help protect other children, families from going through the crime that we have gone through.
With new laws to protect everyone's kids.
This is a new crime. We need it to be a law.
Tonight at 6 on 10 TV.
Jeopardy is on the hot streak with runaway games, high scores, and can't-miss moments.
I've always had nightmares about doing this, Ken. True Daily Double, please.
Oh, that's the spirit.
As this game heats up,
what is the secret of being a world-class Jeopardy player?
Everyone's asking,
could we be witnessing a new super champ in the making?
Find out.
All right, we got a tight game.
On Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7 on 10 TV.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
DraftKings Sports and Social is now open in Columbus Short North. Get ready for the ultimate experience where sports and the party collide into an atmosphere unlike any other. Visit sportsandsocial.com/Columbus and follow us on social for details. DraftKings Sports and Social. Drink, eat, be social.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
Open your door to a beautiful Nature Stone basement floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. Save up to 50% during their May is for Mom's sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Buddy Wells. Round one of the PGA Championship in Louisville rolls along today. Xander Schauffele's opening round is complete, and he's atop the leaderboard, finishing his day at 9 under par. Tony Finau and Rory McIlroy are among many who are a few shots or so back of the lead. One game in the NBA playoffs tonight, which has Denver going on the road to Minnesota for Game 6. Tip-off is at 8:30. The Nuggets lead the series 3-2. Two games in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. At 7, the Rangers visit the Hurricanes. New York leads that series 3-2. And then at 10, the Oilers are on the road against the Canucks. That series is tied at 2 games apiece. And in baseball, the Guardians are off today. Meanwhile, the Reds play the first of a 4-game set in L.A. against the Dodgers. Tonight's game will get started at 10:10. Brent Suter's on the bump for Cincinnati. This update is sponsored by Nature Stone. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor, wow, it's Nature Stone. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Third hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. We'll keep playing the hits for you because it is a Gold Jacket Thursday here on Rothman and Ice.
Let's go.
Which means we'll go up to Canton, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And next on our list is the great number 88, Lynn Swann of the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s. It's the only team he ever played for, drafted by them, turned it into 4 Super Bowls, and here we go. So, and by the way, I think the first receiver to ever be named Super Bowl MVP. And if you want to watch one highlight of his, well, the circus catch against the Cowboys would probably be the one down the middle. But there is a throw that Terry Bradshaw made, I believe it was Super Bowl 10. It was close game. And Terry drops back, Matty, and he feels a little pressure, and he just steps up a little, but he doesn't put a lot of momentum into it. I want you to look at this throw because people, I know they judge Terry Bradshaw a little differently. He has all the Super Bowls, but he was on such an epic team. I don't know if he gets the true historic rankings.
He was the Brock Purdy of his time.
Well, he's better than that, yeah.
But I'm just saying, the perception around Purdy is that Purdy he's not the engine, if you will. You've got Ayuk and CMC and Samuel, Debo Samuel and all those guys. So, Terry has always felt like that type of guy to me when you talk about those Steeler teams, that he was good, but he wasn't necessarily the reason why.
So, he probably gets a little bit of the Jim McMahon treatment, right? Great defense, elite receiver like that. You're right. When you start ranking what people may think or Steeler fan might think of the importance of my Super Bowls, they're probably thinking Steel Curtain. They're thinking of Stallworth and Swann. They're thinking of Franco and Rocky Blyer. They're thinking of Webster. They're thinking of Jack Lambert. Thinking of Jack Ham. They're thinking of those guys.
It's Purdy.
Mel Blount. And
it's Purdy.
Now, Terry is better than that. I don't want to oversell my point. My feeling is if you watch this throw, 65 yards in the air on a rope without stepping into it.
A dot, huh?
Without stepping into it.
Okay.
It's probably one of the greatest throws I've ever seen. And I'll bring up the highlight for you. Anyway, Lynn will be on at 2:33, so we'll keep it rolling here.
That'll be cool.
We got a PGA Championship in Louisville, Valhalla, the site of the PGA Championship. And the guy that got completely swallowed up by Rory McIlroy last week at Wells Fargo is in the lead, Xander Schauffele. I don't know if this, everybody wants to be really good in a major. Going wire to wire, it's tough. Xander Schauffele shot 62 today.
X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you.
The problem with X is that he just isn't a closer. Now, if he builds a big enough cushion, he might be able to close. I mean, this is it's an amazing day. I mean, 31-31, no bogeys, all birdies. The funny part about, and this is great, it's the momentum of Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy shot 66.
Got that post-divorce juice.
Clearly.
You know how they say when athletes, have a kid, you get that dad strength or whatever, you may hit a home run. That's what he's feeling right now. He's locked in. He's focused. He got rid of the distractions. Is that what's happening here?
I'd like to believe he's in a really good place in his life. I think he's rededicated himself.
It's got to be tough.
But Xander Schauffele, you brought him up. He's finished second at the Masters, finished second at the Open, actually, British Open. Finished third at the U.S. Open and 10th at the PGA. So he has 4 top 10s, 3 top 3s in the majors. And so he is there. So they're just fighting again like they did last week. Tiger Woods, y'all.
How'd my boy do today?
He started on the back. So he started on 10. He bogeyed 11, birdied 13, bogeyed 15. Then threw up a couple birdies on the front, but he bogeyed 8 and 9 his last 2 holes.
Come on,
Eldrick. So he is 1 over, shot 72, 1 over. So we'll see how it shakes out.
So really, they're all just waiting for the guy to tee off and just take
Mr.
the lead
Scheffler.
in front of everybody, right? Is that what we're waiting on here?
Well, I was, big. Rory, Scheffler's going off at 223. I don't know. I think
you know.
No, I really don't know.
To me, he's at that point now where he may not shoot 9 under today and get right close or tied up with the X-Man, but I would be surprised if he's not within 3 or 4 shots by the end of his round today. He's that guy now. I think he's the new Tiger. He's the new Jack. Like, he's got a long way to go, but as far as that fear that I think he's striking in the field, to me, Scotty Scheffler is now that guy.
All right.
You're not there yet, huh?
No. He's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the scores today, and I just don't think he's going to get in a position where he's going to lap anybody. I think he'll be there. He has to be there at the end. He's too damn good, and he's coming off a Masters win. And he did have his kid, I believe. You just talked about that dad strength. I think because that was the whole thing of the Masters, they did. They had They had their baby. So
you're
could go either way now.
I'm sure you're glad to hear Brooks Koepka is lurking in the weeds there at 4 under. 4 under.
Yeah, listen.
Earlier in the office,
not thrilled about it.
we were watching BK, and it was early on in his round because I think he's almost done now. And he had a birdie opportunity, and it lipped out, and you were grinning from ear to ear.
I just said, "Oh, that's all." That wasn't any. That's all it was.
Oh man, your disdain for the Live Boys knows no bounds, and I respect it.
Yep. Can't they all just get along? There's enough money for all of you.
Phil he's about to tee off, or he just teed off, and he's got she's got the all black on air with the shades. He just looks like a golf villain.
I defended Phil for a long time.
Like
I really did. I really did. I've come on the show before, and I liked Phil. All the crap I think people gave him, not being a generous guy and all that with autographs and stuff like that. I saw different at Memorial. I really did. I've seen that side of him before, but he is now not very likable. And now, is he going to take credit for all this and guys making more money and maybe I don't know. All I know is they're split and it feels weird. Now the majors they're not, okay, but the other ones they are.
All the homies back together this weekend.
All I felt was that if he really wanted to make the tour better, I think there was other ways. I think there was. I mean, this is a kid who, Arizona State, American kid, got into a really high level of winning majors. He's got 6 of them, 3 Masters, a couple PGAs, and an Open Championship. And I just thought I thought if anybody was into the tradition of winning PGA Tour events, it would be him. And at this point in his life at 53, but, there's all those accusations about, all of his gambling and money and this, and that's all that drives him is the greed of it all. And
Lannister always pays his debts. Is that Phil? Has he paid off his debt?
I don't. Well, okay. Somebody's paying off his debts. I think that's what it is. I think that's so. And he's the oldest major championship winner in history. When he won, the PGA at 50 years old, I believe, at Kiowa, it was historic. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see. It does make for an interesting drama if those guys can get together, and make a run at some of these guys.
Yeah, I like that when we have the majors that they can kind of merge these guys back into the field, right? Because it just makes it a lot better when you see Phil and Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson and all those guys. It just provides more juice for the tournament. So, I can understand it's always going to be a hot topic there. But that's why I'm heavily invested in the majors because the star power is there.
Maddie, did we get some cool holiday games this year? Like, did it feel like
we got the Christmas slate?
Let me go through Thanksgiving just because it comes before that. I actually got what I asked for. I wanted the Bears at Lions on Thanksgiving as the 12:30 game, and that's awesome. Now, Giants, Cowboys, okay, NFC East battle, but the Cowboys are at home. They should dominate that one.
Yeah, the Giants really, I know. Just, I understand.
Division rivalry.
Can we just go away from tradition every once in a while?
Dallas would have worked.
That would have been an absolute party to watch. But Giants, Cowboys, that's when I'm like, all right, I've had my second serving of turkey and, stuffing and mac and cheese and all that. It may be nap time.
That is a 4:30. That's a re-grazing back in the kitchen. And then I had to break it on Schefter. Sorry, Miami at Green Bay is the nightcap, 8:20 from Lambeau to wrap up the Thanksgiving festivities. You got Matt LaFleur and Mike McDaniel, who worked with each other in Houston, Atlanta, and Washington. And then they met as kind of dueling head coaches on Christmas of 22 when the Packers upset them. So I think
two good games.
Yeah.
2 good games for me. Never mad at watching the Cowboys with their opponent.
And the nap in the middle.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be the nap. I'm going to be in good shape, but I'm absolutely here for the Christmas Day games. I mean, we got 2 games. Again, just a reminder for everybody, if you missed it, these 2 games will be on Netflix. So Wednesday, December 25th.
Thank you for that awesome reminder.
I'll keep reminding you, too, along the way, because it is a lot. It's a lot.
They're streamed exclusively on Netflix.
Yes, and I would love to know the money that Netflix pay for these games. It's got to be stupid money. But first game we're going to get at 1 o'clock is those Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning champs, coming into Pittsburgh. So that'll be 1 o'clock. And then after that, you're going to have the Ravens going down to H-Town to deal with C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans at 4:30. And you look at where these games are going to be played, obviously in late December, could be a lot of playoff implications on the line. You look at the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Texans, the Steelers messed around and got in the postseason last year. So between these 4 teams right here, that day, Christmas Day, is, I think, going to be heavily weighted in playoff stuff, which I'm absolutely here for. But that Ravens-Texans game, and I cannot wait for that one.
They always avoided Christmas Day, and now they see there's money on the table, there's money to be made. People are home, they're not working, they're ready to go. They want to watch maybe something other than the NBA or movies. So this is actually the 4th straight year with at least 1 game on Christmas Day, and now 3 straight with multiple games, including the triple header. It's interesting that all 4 of those teams made the postseason last year, like you pointed out. So the Ravens and Texans meeting the divisional round in Baltimore when you guys smacked them good. And then you'll have, like you said, Pittsburgh squeaked in. So it'll be interesting. The one thing I'm looking forward to is that by that time, either things are going really well for Pittsburgh and Russell Wilson is still their starting quarterback, or Justin Fields will be starting on Christmas Day against Kansas City.
Wait, what's his name?
Unlimited.
That's what we call him here on the show. But you're absolutely right, Aaron.
That would be something special.
You're absolutely right. And CV hopped in my ear and said that he's seen reports out there that Netflix has paid, is it $150 million per game, CB, or total?
No.
That's a great question because the deal is for 3 years to do this format.
Yeah.
So it's not really clear on if it's per game or if it's for the entire length of the deal.
Okay. I don't think it surprised me either way. I really wouldn't be surprised if they coughed up 150. I think they'd probably split that between these two.
50-50?
Lemon lime. Yeah. But yeah, Netflix has all types of money. So they can afford to throw that type of bag at the NFL to get the eyeballs over there. So yeah, it's going to be a great day on Christmas. I got to get 2 TVs, AR. Between this and the NBA, it's time.
I just decided, to actually look and see what the Netflix stock is selling at.
Yeah, what do they got right now?
And you could go back, pre-pandemic, So early on in the pandemic, so let's just go to March 20th of 2020, right before things really just pull ripcord, everybody go home. It was selling, still pretty high. It was $333 per share of Netflix. Now, that's going into the pandemic. It's actually down a little bit now over the last whatever month it is, and it's currently selling at $611 a share.
What do they have?
You would have obviously doubled your money if you would have bought this right as the pandemic was starting.
I mean, they're going down this path of live events now. We got the roast stuff. We got these NFL games coming. They're getting in bed with WWE. Monday Night Raw is going to be exclusively on Netflix every Monday, I believe, starting next year. So they can afford it, AR. They can afford it, and everybody's got to get there selling the OC, selling Sunset, and Stranger Things in. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep up with all
the content is king, and they got to have it, and they got to keep driving for new subscribers. That's what it's all about. And they're doing it, and they're willing to spend money to make a lot of money. That's just, the fact that CB said they've got now a 3-season deal, and they're going to stream a Christmas Day doubleheader. That's you're hitting it right where the fans want it, and that's at home when I'm not working, and you're providing games that count. That's fantastic. All right, so those were a couple of the highlights. You and I will dip into a little bit of the Monday nighters and Thursday nighters. And we also have when a certain coach realized that Stroud had more than just rookie of the year potential. That'll be next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hi, this is Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. As a local family-owned business, we understand the importance of celebrating the ones we love. Stop in to find the perfect gift or check us out online at worthingtonjewelers.com.
Welcome to the plus side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party. Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further. Become a member today and experience peace of mind on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
So Wilson, how do you show customers what new windows would look like on their home?
Well, we just all close our eyes and imagine what their home would look like. Why, isn't that what you do?
Actually, we've got technology that shows exactly how new windows will look on your home.
So no imagining?
Nope.
And I imagine your customers really like that.
Yeah, they do. Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and it's springtime. And you know what that means? It means berry season, the fresh, delicious berries, and there's no better place to get them than, you guessed it, Bob Evans and their delicious farmhouse kitchen. They have a number of berry salads there that you're going to love. The summer berry salad, which I love, the red, white, and blueberry farmer's choice. And you know what's fantastic? They start at $6.99 with that red, white, and blueberry hotcakes. Who doesn't love that? With the delicious toppings. They've got them for dine-in, carry-out, delivery. Check them out at bobevans.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Always at the forefront of new technology, Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services, even for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected. Afflicted. No, affected was right.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters ASE technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye. Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Enjoy the nice weather out there today because changes are coming tonight. Look for a sunny afternoon with highs around 78. Tonight, the clouds increase with a low around 65. Look for rain throughout most of the day tomorrow. Upwards of a half-inch of rain is expected with highs in the middle 70s. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Rebshad on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, a little Bet365 time, man.
Yes, sir, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. I'm going to the NBA tonight. I'm going to the NBA. I think the champs smell blood. I think the MVP smells blood. And Nikola Jokic. They've got the Timberwolves on the ropes. They've won 3 games in a row. Give me a triple-double for Nikola Jokic at plus 195. For the Denver Nuggets tonight over there at Bet365. So I'm rolling with the MVP tonight.
He is coming off just an unbelievable game, and things have turned so much for them now. And you just can't kill them off. It feels like they're destined now to win it all. I'll ride with you on that.
Man, we need your Boston Celtics ticket to hit, though, right? That's who you need to win,
We need
right?
Porzingis to come back. We need them to go all the way, but we really don't need it as much now because I grabbed Denver that day at 16-1, which now they're down to what, like 2-1. So it was obviously the right call at that point. I am worried about Boston being able to go all the way and win it all. Now, Porzingis comes back and is effective, then they're different to me. But I just feel like this hero ball and Tatum go win it for us and Brown. Now, when they go on a run, as we noticed last night, when they want to put their foot on your throat, they can. Mm-hmm. I just feel like they might run, if they run into Denver again. Now, they'll have home court, although home has not been great to them.
They're pretty average at home.
I'm a little worried is my point.
No, I hear you.
Boston future now that Denver is where they are.
The Porzingis thing is real because if you go into a final series hoping that Al Horford can, dip into the fountain of youth for an entire championship series, that could get dicey. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
I do like a little bit of Victor Hovland live at 50-1 right now. Big. He got a decent first round, and my boy Max Homa did as well. So I could see myself doing that right now. Doing the anti-Scheffler bet. Just find somebody else.
Jump on it.
Where there's some odds.
Jump on it.
Jump on it. Jump on it. All right. Did you rank the Monday Night Football games for us?
I mean, there's some good ones here. I the one that I really like that jumps out to me amongst a bunch, obviously, is Week 14, Cincy at Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm into that for sure. But also, Week 6, fairly early on in the process, Bills at the Jets. A-Rod going up against Josh Allen in New York. That defense getting after Josh Allen. Where are the weapons at for Buffalo at that point, right? Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, MVS. Those new faces that are up there with Buffalo trying to connect with Josh Allen. By that point, has it gelled together well enough to get after Sauce Gardner and one of the best defensive lines in the sport, led by Quinnen Williams.
So let me ask you guys this. Is this a coincidence or not that the NFL decided to put the Jets at home on a Monday night game against the team when Aaron Rodgers popped his Achilles? Like, it feels like, let's go back to Monday night against the same team.
Yeah.
Now, it's not the opener. The one I love, I mean, there's a couple that I love. The one I love is the Lions at the Niners in Week 17. Like, that's awesome.
Ton on the line.
That could be as entertaining as it gets.
Could be for the 1 seed, right?
You mentioned the Bengals and Cowboys in Week 14. That's outstanding. I do like Week 11 because you get Stroud at the Cowboys on a Monday night. Yeah. So that would be really good.
Yeah. I like the week before that, AR.
What's that?
Dolphins at Rams. You know I'm into the Rams this year. I'm into them a lot. They got a bunch of primetime games this year, but the Dolphins getting that team on the turf in a fast track.
A lot of fantasy stuff
right?
there.
So many fantasy weapons all over the place on both sides with all the weapons of Miami, the weapons for the Rams with Puka and Cooper and Kyron and all of that. Like, Week 10, that could be – I would love to know what the over-under is for that game in points.
So they did do the Harbaugh Bowl on a Monday night. Ravens and Chargers Week 12.
Okay.
So they'll have all that garbage if you like it. And
it'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bengals are playing at home on a Monday night against the Commanders, so that seems like, I don't know if is that a sneaky good game because of Jaden Daniels?
I think their weapons are pretty good. And Washington, we don't know what he's going to be. Some people think they could be kind of the new Texans this year, right, where you draft a quarterback number 2 overall, you bring in a defensive-minded head coach in Dan Quinn, the way the Texans brought in D'Amico Ryans, and one of their draft picks right after the quarterback was a D lineman for Houston last year, Will Anderson, and Washington drafts Johnny Newton from Illinois. So people are trying to connect that, but CJ was a one of one. Like, he's a one of one. It's rare that we see rookie quarterbacks dominate the way that he did. So I'm sure there's going to be some learning stuff there for Jaden Daniels, but I think they're going to have a decent year under a rookie quarterback.
And maybe fun for us, the Brownies get 2 Thursday night games within 5 weeks. They'll be home on a Thursday against Pittsburgh, and they'll be at Cincy on a Thursday.
Okay, love that.
So those are fun. All right, those are some of your highlights for the NFL schedule. Pre-snap reads. It's a Gold Jacket Thursday. We'll go up to Canton next and talk with the great number 88, Lynn Swann. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply. Greener, greener, better.
Safe Auto Insurance is now Direct Auto Insurance. What's the difference? Basically, the name. Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to, which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for car insurance. So don't even think about carpooling to work with Talkative Ted. It's time to stop compromising and keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com or call 1-877-GO-DIRECT. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Join us for gambling things, fantasy sports, gambling things, and most importantly, Gambling Things. Hollywood Casinos on the Money. Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. You know what Rich is up to? He's got Memorial Day sales going all month long. Interest rates starting as low as 1.90% on the 2024s. The Civic LX sedan, the Accord LX sedan, and CRV LX two-wheel drives. And he's going to throw you an extra $1,000 for your trade. He wants to give you the best deal in town, and you will not be disappointed. Germain Honda of Dublin is my Honda dealer in Central Ohio, and hopefully yours on Sawmill Parkway, just south of 270.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
Don't miss a minute of the action on the diamond with ESPN Bet. The exclusive sportsbook of ESPN is the only place to find offers and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities, including daily odds boost and home run specials all season long. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their cholesterol numbers put all other fan hosts to shame. You are listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back into Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and I got to tell you, every kid going out for a pass in the 70s wanted to be this man. Lynn Swann, the four-time Super Bowl champ, the first receiver to ever be named Super Bowl MVP. And I think Mark Washington of the Cowboys is still trying to figure out how you caught all those passes. The great number 88 is here, the king of the circus catch, and anything else you threw his way. Lynn Swann, it's great to have you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
So let's talk about being back in football heaven. This is something that is so cool, this residency program to bring back the Hall of Famers. You were a class of 01. And listen, I know maybe you felt you had a Hall of Fame career, but you never know that you're in until you're in. Give me a little thought on that, and then going full circle and being back in Canton this weekend.
Well, you know, it's very interesting, Anthony. You play football, you think you've done well, and you know sometimes fate is in your own hands in a football game. You know, you run the right route, you get open, you make the catch, and it's all on you. Then after you retire, you wait 5 years and your name pops up again, but there's nothing you can do about it. And you know, it can be trying, especially when you have so many people saying you should be there, you should be there. But at the end, it happened. I'm glad it did. I'm honored to be a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and what it stands for.
Lynn, I want to dig in on the craft of being an elite wide receiver the way that you were. And there's so many different body types and different speeds and so many different ways we see wide receivers go about their business in today's game. But from your perspective, what are some of the most important traits a wide receiver needs to have to be very successful?
Well, it depends on what you have. You may not have maybe every skill set or trait you think a receiver should have, but you've got to certainly highlight and lean on the skills that you do have. There are certain things you can do to have success. You could be the fastest guy out there, so you have the best physical attributes and talents. You could be smart. and read defenses very quickly and know the weak points in there and study your opponent, know his weaknesses so you can take advantage of them. And you could be gifted in terms of athletic skill or grace and be able to do things that are not football-like, but bring them to the field to give you an advantage to make a play or a catch. And if you've got some of those skills, you just try and highlight them. You make them work. Some skills work well in one game against one particular player. Other games, it might require something else. So it's, that study part has to be there to understand who you're playing, how to have the best game against them, and certainly have your teammates behind you, giving the quarterback enough time to allow you to run the route and get the ball to you.
Talking with the Hall of Famer Lynn Swann of the Pittsburgh Steelers back in Canton. You get a chance to meet and greet with Lynn and buy some tickets to some very special events, including Lynn. Matty asked you about, the game, and physically I felt you were targeted more than most by defenses to take you out back in that era. That era seemed very scary now to me to think about. Do you ever think about what you could do in today's game, the way defenses have to kind of abide by the rules and hit guys where they're supposed to be hit, not the way they took cheap shots against you? You ever think about playing in this era and maybe how much more even you could have done?
Well, there was a young man at St. Thomas Aquinas High School who asked a very similar question. And, I told him, I said, you can't worry about the rule changes. You can't worry about how the game changes and what they do now versus what they did, when I played the game. You just have to go out and play it. And you have to be a little fearless, but everybody's got to be a little fearless. You've got to be smart about what you do. You have to protect yourself. But today's athletes are in better shape. They're running faster. They're stronger. You've got almost 300 pounders who are on the offensive and defensive line or linebackers, and who are running like under 5 seconds on the 40-yard dash. So it's like getting hit by a real freight train now. So every year the game has its level of intensity and physicality. You don't want to see players get hurt. The game has improved. So I don't worry about, I'm not going to play this game. I wouldn't mind taking home their paycheck, but I'm certainly not going to play this game.
Yeah, $30 million a year for Lynn Swann would probably be the norm.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I don't have to write the check, though. I get it.
No doubt. Lynn, as you know, and you're well aware that the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise has a very rich history of good wide receiver play. I'm curious, just throughout the year, some of the great wide receivers that have played for that franchise, who is a guy or maybe a guy or two that's really gained your respect, that's played the same position that you did for the Steelers?
Well, I mean, I was fortunate to play alongside John Stallworth, who's also in the Hall of Fame. So we've had some great receivers, and I think, look, that hopefully the team will continue to have great receivers. Hines Ward, he was Super Bowl MVP. He's had a great career with the Steelers. So I hope they continue to bring guys on who can make those plays. It almost seems like today, because you're throwing the ball so much more, there are more athletes playing wide receiver. Now, whether they're going to be Hall of Famers or not, the bar gets pushed higher and higher. Look at the tight ends who are catching passes and making great plays. That bar gets pushed higher and higher. They're as big as Dave Casper, but they're faster and making great catches. So the game's going to evolve. I think the receivers are going to evolve greatly. They continue to be a great weapon in this game, and I don't think that's ever going to change.
He is Lynn Swann of the Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day, the All-Pro in 75, 77, 78, went into the Hall in 01, a year before his teammate, as he just mentioned, John Stallworth, who I believe you chose to present you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Wow, that's awesome.
I asked John to be my presenter, and one of the reasons I did was because, well, certainly for me, I was working for ABC, and I was covering college football. I was covering pro football, and so I had a lot of visibility. It didn't seem to help get me into the Hall of Fame any sooner, but I had a lot of visibility. And I was concerned that if John and I were kind of canceling each other out, and John wasn't getting that much visibility. You know, he had a company and a business he was running, but he wasn't in front of the camera very much at all. But I felt it was important for people to see John, and so that's one of the reasons why I wanted John to present me into the Hall of Fame. And I said as much when I delivered my speech.
One of the interesting storylines for us here in AFC North Country is going to be what's going to happen in Pittsburgh currently with the quarterback position. Lynn, you've got Russell Wilson now over there. The former Buckeye and Justin Fields is now in the mix. Like, what do you think should unfold there throughout training camp going into the regular season with two quarterbacks going at it for the number one spot?
Yeah, but no disrespect for anybody who's been there in the past. I think they've upgraded the position for the future, and we'll see who they choose, who gets a starting job, and how they do. I certainly think Justin Fields has more longevity, at this particular moment, but he may not be the guy who starts at the beginning of the season, and so it'll be up to the coaching staff. I think they've got talent there. I think they have to figure out how to blend it, how to fold it in, and keep the organization working as a unit, as a team. Not allow the quarterbacks to get into any kind of feuds. Not allow one to become favored over the other for any other reason than just how they play, and so that it doesn't divide the team, wanting one player to play over the other. So I think Tomlin is good at managing the team and the personalities, and he should manage those very acutely and very tightly.
Talking with Lynn Swann, who single-handedly abused the Cowboys in Super Bowl X. You know, Terry Bradshaw, I think that throw he made to you, 65 yards on a rope, may be one of the more unappreciated throws in the history of the game. Because you had such great teams, Terry had been in Pittsburgh, I think, 4 years before you got there. Give me a little stuff on Terry in the huddle, and do you feel like he is a little bit underappreciated by history?
Well, I think anybody, any quarterback, and possibly any receiver, except for a handful who were on the few teams that were throwing a lot of passes back when we were playing, would be unappreciated compared to what the guys are doing today. I mean, the kind of passes they're throwing, the kind of passing systems that they have in. Terry has always had a big arm, and it's always been on a rope. John and I were trying to figure out what kind of gloves can we wear to protect our hands, because we got to jump up and catch these passes. You can't catch it with your body because they'll just bounce off your shoulder pads and go 20 yards in the other direction. But we're always trying to figure out how to make that work. And, Terry made it work. Gave us an opportunity to make plays on the ball, gave us an opportunity to go for it. He trusted us. We trusted him. There were never enough passes being thrown for both John and I. I would like to catch all my passes and John's and go from there. But Terry had to divide it up. I'll tell you a funny story. I put a play in for Super Bowl 13, our third Super Bowl, because I saw the safeties respond to a three-step drop that the quarterback would take, indicating a quick pass. Mm-hmm. And so I said, let's put in this play that looks like a quick pass, and I'm going to run a slant. Terry drops back 3 steps. He has to pump fake the ball to me, and then I take off on the skinny post because the safeties for the Cowboys are going to come charging up. So we look at it. Tom Moore, we look at it, the receiver coach at the time. We put it in, ran it at practice. Chuck liked it, so we put it in the game. So we get into a ball game, perfect place to call it, and Terry calls it to John Stallworth.
Come on.
Calls it to John Stallworth. John catches it, goes into the end zone for a touchdown. And I'm running down the field going, yay, yay. Yeah. But we came back, and they called a play in the second half, and I caught it for a touchdown. Yeah. But it's those kinds of things that I think showed how Terry evolved as a quarterback and his ability to read defenses and to throw the ball and give us an opportunity to make plays.
Listen, Terry had a cameo in that with Burt Reynolds and Hooper, and Mean Joe Green had a Coke commercial, and I guess you just had to be the hero of Super Bowls. Everybody has to know their role. So Well done, my man. I will tell people tomorrow from 10 to 11 in the morning, you will be at the Hall. You're the Hall of Famer at the Hall, which is amazing. You'll be interacting with guests near your bronze bust in the Hall of Fame gallery. Saturday, you'll be greeting people in the morning in the lobby. People can get into some very special events. The catch with Lynn Swann on the patio and all sorts of cool things. The autograph session. We will direct people up to Canton. It's where you belong. It's where you are. And we can't thank you enough, Lynn. What a pleasure. Be well.
You got it. Thank you.
You got it. Lynn Swann, the great number 88 with us from Canton, part of that 1974 draft of all Hall of Famers. Swann, Lambert, Stallworth, and Webster. And, oh, by the way, they threw in an undrafted free agent, Donnie Shell. Oh, and he made the Hall of Fame, too. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Good stuff, man. That was awesome.
We didn't, it's funny. We had a small time with him. We didn't even get to, the time at USC when he beat Ohio State and then Ohio State crushed them in 74, like that part. Like there's
and then became their freaking athletic director.
And then,
too.
Yes. And now they're in the Big Ten, by the way.
Crazy stuff.
But yeah, every kid, every little kid in the 70s or early 80s, they wanted to make a circus catch like Lynn Swann. It's the God's honest truth. He was the best. So go up and see him at the Hall. Tomorrow you can see him from 10 to 11, and then you can get into some very special stuff. And by the way, the autograph session, which I think you do have to buy a ticket to, I do want to tell you, it's only Hall of Fame merchandise. You can't go up there with a football card or a jersey. They want to keep it to Hall of Fame stuff, and that's located in the Hall of Fame Gold Jacket Lounge, only for gold jacket wearers. All right, we'll come back with Tell the Truth next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
DraftKings Sports and Social is now open in Columbus Short North. Get ready for the ultimate experience where sports and the party collide into an atmosphere unlike any other. Visit sportsandsocial.com/Columbus and follow us on social for details. DraftKings Sports and Social. Drink, eat, be social. Are you experiencing brain fog or difficulty building muscle? Feeling irritable and lacking energy? It might not be just your busy lifestyle. Many men worldwide suffer in silence from low testosterone. But there's hope. Introducing testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness. Imagine waking up with renewed vigor and confidence. Visit ChoosePrecisionHealth.com or call now to schedule a consultation. Reclaim your vitality today with testosterone replacement therapy from Precision Health and Wellness.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, as we get older, it's inevitable. There's going to be parts of your body that let you down. Sometimes it's your knees, sometimes it's your elbow. Maybe your back is hurting you a bit more than it used to. Maybe it's another part of your body that's letting you down. In the bedroom, let's say. And you need to get your confidence back. That's where my guys and my gals at Blue Chew step in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so you don't have to go to the doctor's office. There's no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and the products ship right to your door in a discreet package. And if you don't like swallowing pills, you don't have to. Blue Chew tablets are, of course, chewable. If you need to get your confidence back in the bedroom, visit BlueChew.com. Plus, I've got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code BONE at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com, promo code BONE, and you get to try Blue Chew for free, plus the $5 shipping. Just use promo code BONE at BlueChew.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Great coaching can make all the difference, especially when it comes to your money. At Right Pac Credit Union, our financial coaches are on your team. We'll help you create a winning game plan that's customized for your unique needs, so you can make the most of your hard-earned money and live the life you want to live. Best of all, Right Pac Credit Union serves all of Central Ohio, so getting in the game is easy. Let's win together. Stop by one of our Central Ohio member centers to get started today. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
Murphy Tractor and Equipment is your source for John Deere construction equipment rental. We rent high-quality equipment and attachments with add-on options in TopCon precision construction technology. Whether you need 1 week or 6 months, we rent a variety of equipment to help you get the job done. All our rental equipment is fully serviced, fueled, and ready to get to work. Let Murphy Tractor be your first choice for your construction equipment rental needs. Visit us online at murphytractor.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Sears Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, CB, let's share a little truth with our listeners.
Sure can. Let's use yesterday's National Day of Today because we didn't get to it yesterday. Yesterday was National Chocolate Chip Day. A lot of different ways to enjoy it. I know people like to put it in their brownie mix when they make brownies. They also obviously put it in cookies. My question to you is, what is your favorite way to consume chocolate chips?
Right out of the bag.
I'm gonna go with just the OG, CB, like a really good chocolate chip cookie that is moist, as my grandma used to say. No tea at the end of that, just moist. Like, that absolutely is a win. I love a brownie, but I don't need chocolate chips in my brownie. It's chocolatey enough. But yeah, a chocolate chip cookie, AR.
So do you just like the OG brownie, or do you kind of mix that up too?
Yeah, no, just give me the OG brownie. Now, I did have a friend of mine that made like a brownie with golden Oreos somehow in that thing, and that was just like
golden child.
Like, let me just stop living. I don't need to live anymore after that. But yeah, you cannot beat, for me, just an original, really good, warm, moist chocolate chip cookie.
The chocolate chunks. No, we're talking chips here. All right, so I haven't had these in a long time, but as Maddie was talking about the chocolate chips, I started thinking that the best way to consume them is in chocolate chip pancakes. I have to tell you, I haven't had it in a long time. You start putting that big dollop of butter on there, starts running off the sides of the pancakes, the syrup.
Yeah, talk about it.
The chocolate chip pancakes coming out nice and warm. I got to tell you.
I'll combine with that, like a Waffle House trip at like 2 a.m. when you get the chocolate chip waffle. Incredible.
Okay. CB, I used to stumble into the Waffle House on High Street years ago, right around that time.
Bumbling, stumbling.
Am I really ordering chocolate chip waffles? Like, what am I even ordering? But yeah, that was the spot where we used to get down.
I don't think I've had the chocolate chip. You mean just the chips on the waffle?
Yeah, that's what they do. Yes.
Yeah. I'll still probably stick with the pancakes, but I would like to try that as well. But yeah, I think I'm due for a little short stack in my future.
You can't handle the truth.
All right, next up, we're pretty close to getting set the matchups for the conference finals in the NBA. My question to you is, now that we're at this point with still semis going on, what is your ideal NBA finals matchup?
I think we're headed for something that's pretty cool. I think we're headed for Boston-Denver. I think that they've played close games. Boston hasn't beaten them. They have home court advantage, but that may not count for much since they're not that great at home. Porzingis coming back, we talked about. I think that's the heavyweight battle I would like. I know that, getting the Knicks into the final would be kind of cool because, they haven't won it since 73, but just don't think they can go all the way. So I know we talked about Luka and Maddie like Dallas before, and now they've got, and by the way, our cash out boy, good job for him. He got out. He got his $81,000 and said sayonara because it looks like Oklahoma City's going to be exiting stage left. But I guess I'll stick with the heavyweight battle. Let's see if Boston can actually get over on Denver. And if Porzingis comes back, I think that's the heavyweight matchup I'd like to see.
It's hard to go up against that, and especially when you think about the Knicks. You know how much I love MSG in that arena, and the juice that would be in the buildings for a finals would be off the chain, but they're just banged up, AR. Like, we're not going to see OG Anunoby and obviously Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. So it's impressive what Jalen Brunson did the other day. But, yeah, we need as much star power as possible going after that gold ball. So, yeah, give me Boston and Denver. I'm going to roll with AR on this one.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
I know you're interested in the heavyweight battle, like you said, but is there also maybe some tickets involved on both of those teams that you'd be interested in seeing both of them make it?
That's
not
very,
for me.
very astute. Very astute of CB.
Yep.
He's been following along with the game script for me. Yeah, I have the Celtics tied in with an Ohio State football future. It's pretty nice little ticket I'd like to see happen. I threw out a weird one in the NHL, which had Vancouver and Ohio State. Vancouver was 9-1, the Canucks, and they have to get over on Edmonton, and that game is tonight also. That'll be Game 5 tonight at Vancouver. They have to win it. So, thank you. Staying on top of that.
Absolutely. Final one here. It's our daily fan poll. The question is, which of the following canned foods do you like more? Is it Spam, SpaghettiOs, baked beans, or cream of mushroom soup?
See, what would take me back to my childhood, it sounds so old when I say that. I don't know why I said that. It's SpaghettiOs, CB. With the little hot dog slices in there. And what I used to do as a kid, a little dusting of Parmesan cheese on your SpaghettiOs. So, yeah, give me SpaghettiOs.
What can... I won't go back to the childhood. I don't think I've ever had Spam. I don't think I ever will. I'm hoping I don't. Cream of mushroom soup would not be my big choice. I think you're in SpaghettiOs and the right... But I'm going to go with the baked beans.
Okay.
Always a big baked bean guy. It runneth off the plate.
And the truth shall set you free.
Your cup runneth over.
It kind of actually runs through that paper plate, too.
Before we go, if you miss Ryan Roberts talking Notre Dame, Frank Caliendo, and the 1 o'clock hour Steelers Hall of Famer Lynn Swann, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be waiting for you.
Thank you for spending your midday with us. Conman and T-Bone will take you through the rest of the afternoon. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination. This is a Fan Action Update.
This action update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. We had 2 elimination games Wednesday night with 2 more tonight in the NBA and NHL playoffs. The host Celtics closed out the Cavs in Game 5. Boston did not cover the closing -16. The Mavs plus 4.5 upset the Thunder to take a 3-2 series lead. The Mavs are 4.5-point favorites for Saturday's Game 6 in Dallas. For your Tipico action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Attention HVAC contractors. For nearly a century, R.E. Michaels' contractor-first approach has built trust and true partnerships with contractors across the country. Now their exclusive brand, AirTemp, is available to you and delivers homeowners the best value in home comfort. AirTemp equipment is manufactured to the highest standards and is known for quality, reliability, and value. Come visit your local R.E. Michael branch today or visit remichael.com to learn more.
What's up, sandwich heads? Today on Steve-O's Sandwich Reviews, we've got the tips and tricks to the best sandwich order. And it all starts with this little guy right here. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Partial to pastrami, craving a Cubano. Yeah, sounds delicious, but boom! Add the crisp, refreshing taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar and cue the fireworks. Lunch, dinner, or late night, it'll be a sandwich worth celebrating. Trust me, your boy's eaten a lot of sandwiches in his day, and the one thing I can say with absolute fact, every bite is better with Pepsi.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. You probably heard me talk about Dr. Mark Levy's custom-fit oral appliances to help treat sleep apnea and how they are so much better than using those bulky, uncomfortable CPAP machines. Well, I've been talking about it for years, and the FDA just recently announced a recall of over 18 million CPAP masks. Yikes! These CPAP masks, the ones with magnetic headgear clips, can potentially interfere with certain medical devices. Pacemakers, implantable defibrillators, neurostimulators, aneurysm clips. And if that happens, that can cause injuries not only to yourself if you use these masks, but also your partner as well. Sleep apnea is no joke, and as I've been saying, it affects everyone in the home. So if you've been diagnosed with sleep apnea and you can't tolerate your CPAP machine anymore, or, just flat out worried it could possibly do harm to you, that sort of thing, call Dr. Mark Levy today for your custom oral appliance at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's right, Dr. Mark Levy, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or book an appointment online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Open your door to a gorgeous Nature Stone garage floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. This month only, save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at Nature